the twists and turns of a Stanley Cup playoff series. In Game 1, the matchups within the matchup went the Flyers' way. The key plays were made by guys in orange, white, and black. Frustration became the byproduct for the Devils. The Flyers had the series start that they wanted. When the teams reconvened 2 nights later, a determined group of Devils actually faced a stronger effort from the Flyers. And as the fickle fates of postseason hockey would have it, the improved Philadelphia effort would go for naught in the end, as the Devils would even the series. The scene shifts to Broad Street in Philly for the next 2 games. Each player realizing as the series moves on, the games get more critical. The series tie is broken tonight. Game 3, Flyers-Devils, next. For the 14th time in the last 15 NHL seasons, the Stanley Cup playoff party has come to Philadelphia. And certainly Flyer fans know how to participate. The block party going on outside, while inside all the key components prepare for action as they look to make their mark once again on this playoff series. It's Game 3 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinal series between the Flyers and the Devils. This series is tied at 1 game apiece. So obviously, one team will leave the building here tonight with the series lead. And a pleasant good evening. Welcome to Flyers playoff hockey action here on Comcast Sportsnet. Along with Bill Clement, I'm Jim Jackson. Steve Coates will join us here in just a moment. Well, Bill, you can hear it going on behind us. This place is ready to rock. The scene has shifted. Home ice advantage now for the Flyers, and they seem to thrive upon it.
And it's something that doesn't show up in the statistics. In our stats pack, it doesn't talk about just how valuable the crowd is here at the Wachovia Center. The longer the Flyers can keep the crowd in this game, and I think they can do that in many ways. Goal scoring, big hits, sustained forecheck. The longer this crowd can be a part of this game, the greater the advantage the Flyers will have.
And of course, there is a strategic advantage as well, because the Flyers get the last change now. Matchups always important come playoff time. We asked Flyers head coach Peter Laviolette how vital the last change could be.
Well, I think it's important to get those deep pairings out there when we can. Also, you know, Mike Richards' line or Blair Betts' line, I think that matchup can be key as well. But you know, if we don't get those matchups, like I said the other day, we have to trust all of our players to play within a system. We'd like to get them if we can at home, and I think we'll have a better opportunity to do that. But at some point, you know, the minutes will roll in 2-3 minutes without a whistle, and we may lose a matchup. We're counting on everybody. We trust everybody to play the system.
Well, I'll tell you what, Steve, Coach, when you're talking about matchups within this series, 2 names from the Devils certainly are prominent on the list.
Jimmy, this is the reason that this team won the division, because they can score goals in Zach Parise and Ilya Kovalchuk. Parise was their leading goal scorer. He had 38. But when you talk about Kovalchuk, he had 41 in the season, but he came over in a trade. But you're talking about 2 players that absolutely know where the net is. They know how to skate. They got the great shots. There were their numbers this past Friday. Now, for Parise, he's the first Devil ever to have 4 30-goal seasons in a row. He's only 5'11" and 190 pounds, but when he gets around the net, he knows exactly where he's going. He's flat out lethal, and he'll fight off anybody to get to that spot. For Kovalchuk, he expects to score goals. So when he does to expect 4 goals, it gets frustrated. Right here, he's frustrated, and he gets frustrated more and more during the first 2 games. Oh yeah, he gets the open net goal, but the bottom line is that this is a double trouble situation for the Philadelphia Flyers heading into Game 3.
Well, no question about that, Coatsy. Those are 2 lethal weapons for the Devils. But, Bill, the Flyers have some weapons, too, that they want to have fired tonight. Claude Giroux and Jeff Carter are 2 of them.
Yeah, absolutely. But while the Flyers are focusing on shutting down Kovalchuk and Parise, they have to generate enough offense to win. One of these 2 players on your screen hasn't gotten it going yet, and that's Jeff Carter. The guy on the right is Claude Giroux, and he really torched it up in Game 2. But for Jeff Carter, who was everything for the Flyers in the regular season, who missed time at the end of the year with his broken foot, he is still coming back, and that bone is still mending. I thought in Game 2, he was a threat so many times on the ice. He generated 5 shots. He was a part of 6 scoring opportunities. Peter Laviolette spoke to him today, and he said, hey, look, Jeff, he said, I'm not as unhappy with your game as you are. Focus on the process, and the goals will come. The goal came for Claude Giroux in game 2. How many teams can boast a third-line center that is also a power play specialist? That's how deep the Flyers are up the middle, and it's one of the advantages they have over the New Jersey Devils in this series is their strength down the middle.
And I'll tell you what, Claude Giroux is one guy who does not shy away from the playoff pressure. He's been dominant. Special teams, always a factor as well, Bill.
Always a factor. The Flyers they can't even hope the Devils are going to put themselves down a man 7 times. That happened in game 2. If anything, the Devils want to make this a 5-on-5 series. That's how the Flyers have to be prepared to play. If you get something with your special teams, huge bonus, but be ready to win the game 5-on-5.
And so the stage is set. The Flyers and Devils ready to have at it. The Devils taking the ice. The Flyers who to follow. The place is rocking. Game 3 straight ahead. Tonight's Flyers-Devils Game 3 is brought to you by your local Tri-State Toyota dealers. Go Flyers, go Toyota. Toyota moving forward. By Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. By Wachovia, the official financial services partner of the Philadelphia Flyers. And by Hyundai. Think Hyundai, but act now for special lease deals at your Hyundai dealer. The fact that Chris Pronger's become a factor in front of the net in this series is not a surprise. However, the fact that it's in front of Marty Brodeur's cage might raise some eyebrows. Pronger's become a power play weapon down low. 2 goals, in close, ample evidence his net presence is a true factor in this series. Pronger and the Flyers face off with the Devils as Game 3 gets underway after these messages. Tonight's first period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Pepsi Max. Maximum taste, maximum energy, 0 calories. And by VWLocal.com. Go to VWLocal.com or your area Volkswagen dealer to learn more about great deals on all their new vehicles. Partying outside, well, they've moved the party inside now as Game 3 set to begin here at the Wachovia Center. Flyers played very well in this building down the stretch, and they're counting upon home ice advantage to help them along here in this Eastern Conference quarterfinal.
Nothing has changed in the department of our Kia starting goalies. Brian Boucher back in net for the Flyers, and Martin Brodeur, playoff start consecutively, number 169 for him. Both have been good in the series. Neither has stolen a game.
Marty Brodeur with those 99 career playoff wins. Looks to join Patrick Waugh as the only goalies hitting the century mark in postseason wins. Flyers in their orange jerseys, road whites for the Devils. Brad Meyer, Brad Watson, your referees. The puck is down. We're underway here in Game 3. Mike Motto controlling for the Devils. He'll send it off the stick. Rob Niedermeyer into the Philadelphia zone. Timo Timonin's back for it. He'll send it up the glass. The Flyers get to it and have a chance right away. It's a 2-on-1. Carter moving up with Hartnell. Carter, the shot, save! Brodeur, he got his arm on it. Carter after it behind the net. He's able to come away with the disc and drop it off for Hartnell. Hartnell gets it in front. Langenbrunner a whack at it. But the Devils able to tip it as far as Brian Ralston, but he's checked. Hartnell there, a centering pass off the skate as Carter was checked, and the Devils throw the puck out to center. An early burst from the Flyers. This will be icing on the Devils.
Oh, what could have been on that 2-on-1 for Jeff Carter. Our Land Rover keys of the game: keep the crowd alive, goals, hits, sustain pressure. Number 2, establish a forecheck, pucks deep, work bodies over. and hit the net. 29 shots in game 2, but 14 misses as well in game 2.
Jeff Carter, we talked about in the open, Bill. I want to get him going, and certainly a chance early.
What could have been.
It would have been huge for so many reasons.
No question. So now Jeff Carter's challenge is to keep the frustration from continuing to mount. He had his shot here.
Well, right there you see he was trying to go up over the left shoulder of Brodeur. Brodeur came out and just got a piece of that. But boy, I'll tell you what, guys like that, they're aiming. And Carter's such a great goal scorer.
Off the draw, the Flyers get to it. Matt Carl trying to get back down low in the Devils zone. Colin White, the veteran defenseman, up the wall. Pronger will pinch, kick it ahead to Carcillo. Carcillo centers it blindly to the slot. Langenbrunner is there, had a little trouble with it. And Andy Green will take over. And off the boards to center, and right there is Pronger. 2 goals in this series, both on the power play from in close. He takes the puck back. Marty Chant up for the fans here in South Philadelphia as they try to get under the skin. The opposition goaltender. Carcillo centering. Richards went to the net, but it was tipped away. Penalty. An early call on one of those sticks in the midsection, so they're going to call it tightly apparently. Carcillo hammering away on Andy Green, but the penalty will be, I think, on Mike Richards for a stick in the midsection. Richards is hot, but if this is any indication, they're going to call it really tight here in the early going.
No kidding. And it was Chris Pronger when this series started. Well, you look at Andy Green kind of gave him an arm hug. Mike Richards did have his stick in a real inopportune area of Andy Green's body, but Green put his elbow down and held it.
The scratches, brought to you by Virtua. There's a change for the Devils. Martin School, the veteran defenseman, out. Mark Fraser, young defenseman, in. Flyers go with a change as well as Oskars Bartulis. There's a healthy scratch. And Lucas Krajcek, who played in game 1, did not in game 2. He's back in the lineup. Devils power play going to work here. Postseason numbers, and now they're set up. Langenbrunner toward the slot, bounces free. Oh, Martin was after it, could not get control of it. In the corner, Pronger and Langenbrunner come together. The Perrier is in there. So is Zajac. He got it back to the point. He comes across to Martin for the shot. Save Boucher. He's able to gather it with a lot of traffic around him. David Clarkson trying to get his stick in after that puck, and Boucher wants to know why perhaps there wasn't a penalty on him.
Yeah, David Clarkson had a bit of a screen going there, but I think Brian Boucher would take shots like that from Paul Martin any day, as opposed to a one-timer from Ilya Kovalchuk at the point. Both Ian LaPerriere and Blair Betts had gotten caught over on the other side of the ice, so Martin decided to let this rip. Good play by Kimmo Timonen to kind of box out Clarkson.
Boucher did a great job of getting those pads down to be able to make sure that there was nothing open. He's been so good at that, so solid, making sure that that 5-hole is not a vulnerable area.
Let's see what Boucher's complaint was there. Clarkson just took his stick and shoved Boucher into the net. Out in front, here's Zubris, the hero in game 2. Could not get his shot off here. Elias. Patrick Elias holding on, had 3 assists in game 2. Looks things over, and then all the way across for Kovalchuk at the point. Ilya Kovalchuk. Back to Elias, and now Martin. Plenty of traffic in front of Boucher. Elias nearly lost that to center, kept it in, according to the linesman, not according to some of the linesmen in the crowd. But the one that counts said the puck's still in the zone, and so the Devils continue to work. Here's Martin. Back to Kovalchuk. They're trying to set him up for his big shot. Martin will take one, blocked. Chance to clear, and all the way down it goes off the stick of Darryl Powell. 35 seconds remain on the power play. Kovalchuk is back. They'll look to rev it up through center ice. Drops it off to Zajac. Right back now for Langenbrunner along the wall. Back in the middle, Zajac cutting on in the shot. It bounced behind Boucher, but the Flyers came to his rescue, and they cleared the zone. I believe it was Matt Carl.
Both Braden Colburn and Matt Carl swept at it with their sticks. One of them got it.
And so it's still a scoreless hockey game. Kovalchuk with speed in across the line, across to Green. Green is shot, blocked in front. Power play is over. Richards is out of the box. Puck tipped away from Langenbrunner, gotten back by Green. He's tripped penalty. Flyers will be shorthanded again. LaPerriere will go delayed call. And there's Kyle getting to it. Not the start the Flyers wanted. 2 quick penalties. And so they'll face another New Jersey power play.
Ian LaPerriere, the guilty party. Here's the scary moment for the Flyers, and I think it was Braden Coburn that got his stick on it. Top of the screen, there's number 5.
Yep.
Not many pucks have gotten through Brian Boucher. That is one. Didn't get cleanly through, and that's why he didn't hit the back of the twine.
Well, this is a tough play because Laperriere has just got his stick out. So is it Laperriere tripping Green, or is it Green tripping over Laperriere's stick? I think it's the latter. I don't like that call.
Here's Martin with it. Across the shot. Kovalchuk blocked by Pronger, who then beats Kovalchuk to the puck and sends it ahead. A 2-on-2 as Gagne moves up with Richards. Gagne lost control. Richards trying to recapture, but it's the Devils instead as Zach Parise drops back. And Parise, who could have 3 goals in this series, but he's only been credited with 1, but he's been around the net as expected. To the puck here. Around to Elias. And now Martin. Cross ice, not in the wheelhouse of Kovalchuk. His pass tipped by Richards. Pronger over to it, ahead to Richards, and he steers it past Kovalchuk to center ice. Early 4 blocks for the Flyers as they're shorthanded twice. Early going. Elias holding on to the puck. Gets it out to the point to Martin. Still minute and 5 seconds on this power play. Elias loses, and Darryl Powell speeds the other way. Martin chases him, and Powell's shot goes off Martin's stick and wide.
Well, the key in both the penalty kills so far for the Philadelphia Flyers has been pressure. Every time anybody from the Devils gets the puck, they just go right after him, don't allow him any opportunity.
Devils are offside as they re-enter the Philadelphia zone.
Yeah, Ilya Kovalchuk back out for this power play, and the Flyers doing an awesome job of taking away his time and space. You know, you mentioned on one call, JJ, that it wasn't in his wheelhouse. That's the play the Devils want. They want Kovalchuk ready for the one-timer. But when Peter Laviolette's guys that are out there killing penalties have people in front of Kovalchuk, I think it favors the Flyers, those long one-timers. First of all, they're not very accurate. You don't really know what you're shooting at, and you never are shooting for an intentional deflection.
And there have been a lot of blocks, some of them going the other way. Powell after the puck here, 25 seconds remaining on the power play. Zajac back to Green, touch pass Langenbrunner. Down low, Ralston in front. Zajac had to go off his stick to the corner, may have been tipped on the way there. And then Richards clears the zone. That looked very dangerous. Here's Green. Finding the Philadelphia line. Into the captain, Langenbrunner. Flyers will be back at full strength in 2 seconds. Zajac a shot. Save Boucher with the stick through traffic. Langenbrunner back out in front. Tipped away. A chance for the Flyers to move back, but Perrier was heading to a defensive assignment. The puck bounced away. Here's Zajac. Back to the Philadelphia line. The Flyers have survived 2 early man-down situations. It's still scoreless, and the Devils managing only 2 shots through the early going, despite 4 minutes of power play time. Lucas Krajicek back in the lineup. Will drop it off for Matt Carl. His pass. Oh, Giroux finds James Van Riemsdyk as this line finally gets on the ice. And Giroux hard after the puck in the corner. Aaron Asham unable to come up with it. Parente dump it out through center ice, played by Ryan Parent. You can bet the crowd here at the Wachovia Center, anytime a Flyer falls or hits the ice, he's going to want a penalty call. They'll try to influence the referees in any way they can. Otto ahead to Patrick Elias. Seems like he's been on the ice the entire first period. His dumping is cut off by Coburn. It's feathered ahead by Parent, but knocked down by Elias. They'll drop it back to Bryce Salvador. Other defenseman run down by Briere. And the Flyers surge to the puck. Behind the net, Hartnell reaching for it. Hartnell then stood up as Elias got in his way, and Green gets to the puck. His outlet for Zubris. Zubris to Parise. He gets hooked. Another penalty. Flyers lack the discipline here early. They will be shorthanded a 3rd time. Danny Briere, I think, got his stick up. Perhaps it was Kimmo Timonen. Either way, the Flyers to be shorthanded. They're still tied, though, thanks to Braden Coburn. Came to the rescue.
Just 7 minutes have gone in this first period, and the Devils are heading to their 3rd power play. And maybe it is lack of discipline. Watch now. Parise going down the boards, and then you see Timonen gets that stick right up underneath the belly. And that is a penalty. But now, in a situation like this, if you can kill off this 3rd one, it's a huge change in the momentum for the Philadelphia Flyers, guys.
Well, the change was there, Coach, after killing the first 2. You hope that this Penalty doesn't stunt that momentum. You can sense the Flyers are about to go on a run and get the crowd back involved. They actually were involved as they killed it off. Now they have to try to find a way to get past a third power play. Ralston across. And there's Kovalchuk. Right to Ralston. The Perry laid out, and Ralston took the shot and scored. Boucher did not appear to see it. Ralston fired from the point, and the Devils, third time is a charm on the power play as they score and take a 1-0 lead.
Well, Brian Ralston can launch lasers from the blue line, and one of the things the Devils worked on after game 1 was a little bit more patience on their power play, faking shots and waiting for people to go down. Both Ian LaPerriere and Blair Betts ended up right there, going down to try to block, and it got between them and by Brian Boucher.
Boy, that's a good point, Billy, because, you know, if you just have your head up, you can see when the opposing player is going to go down and block that shot. You saw LaPerriere go down. Ralston just said, okay, I'm going to wait. And when he waited, boy, did he ever let that one go. There's no way in the world that Boucher saw it.
Well, I believe that was Dynan Zubas, all 6'5", 225 pounds, standing right in front of Brian Boucher. Zubas. Here come the Devils looking for more now. They have some jump in their step after scoring that goal. Flyers trying to break out, could not. Here's Motto with a shot. That one goes wide. Back out to White. Way to roll it in along. Ralston after it there. Centered it in front. Langenbrunner shot blocked. And now it's Richards going the other way. The pass is for Carcillo, but he overskated, and now the Flyers are offside. And then the contact after the whistle. Carcillo ends up a little worse for wear. Maybe Langenbrunner was involved. The offside whistle had blown.
Oh.
And
I didn't see anything that came close to Dan Carcillo's face on that one. I think he was trying to draw a penalty.
Yeah, perhaps.
I think he hit it right on the head, and Brad Meyer and Brad Watson were very quick to come over and say, hey. That's why they didn't make the call. But, hey, it was a good try.
Yeah, there was Motto over there, too, but didn't appear to be any contact. So it continues, 5-a-side hockey. There's Yodur for Green, upended by Hartnell, but got the puck to Corrente. And now Zajac will chip it into the Philadelphia zone. And in his back, looking for Coburn, but he couldn't hang on. Kovalchuk out to Salvador. Flyers have to try to reach back down now and get their step back. Penalty upcoming. Delayed call. This one I did not see. It's a high stick. Brown thinks it's on the Devils.
It is. Kimmo Timonen is the guy that got high stick right in front of Brian Boucher. It wasn't much, but the refs have kind of established a zero tolerance for any kind of contact. There, right in front of Brian Boucher. Matt Corrente. Well, that was pretty good. You know, that it didn't look that severe when I saw it regular time, but he just cross-checked Kimmo Timonen in the neck.
That's not a good one to take, especially in the offensive zone. That one drives coaches absolutely crazy when you take that one in the offensive zone. He's just playing in his second NHL playoff game, and that's not one that's going to keep Jacques Lemaire very happy.
So the Flyers get their first power play of the game. Timonen, Pronger on the points. Richards with a pass to Gagne for a shot that was blocked by Elias. The Flyers 3 for 10 on the power play in this series. Timonen will wind and fire. Deflection, score! Claude Giroux was there, and the Flyers power play gets the goal right back. Might have gone off of Colin White. Either way, it's in the net, and the Flyers have tied the game at 1. The Flyers score for a case of Tasty Cakes.
What a blast by Kimmo Timonen, and an unbelievable pass right there by Chris Pronger to get out of the way of a stick that was coming that way. And this looked like it could have gone off of Colin White's skates, but it went right by him to Claude Giroux.
And it would appear, you know what, Billy, it appeared that Timonen is going to take the shot on net right at the last second. He just pulled that one because he saw the traffic. He saw White. He saw Giroux. He knew he could create something, and certainly it paid off. Who it hit? Nobody knows.
Oh, no, I think that last angle, Coach, gave us a good look. Giroux got his stick on it, and he'll get his second of the series. Timonen and Pronger will get the assists. And the Flyers get the goal right back. It's tied at 1. We start over here just about halfway through this first period. Jeff Carter protecting along the boards to the slot for a shot blocked by Clarkson, who lost his stick. He'll go retrieve it as the Flyers try to retrieve the puck. Now the outlet pass from Dean McCammon ahead to Clarkson, rumbling into the Philadelphia zone but losing control. Is back to get it behind the net. The jam for it, and it's Clarkson moving it, getting it out in front. Boucher met him at the post. Now it's Parise back to the point. Salvador across to Andy Green. He'll wind and fire, and it went through all kinds of sticks wide of the net. Salvador back to Parise. Takes a heavy hit from Hartnell as he dumps the puck around behind the net. Now Ryan Parent and Clarkson battle. Parise right back after it, then Briere thumps him. And Clarkson's there. Now Parent bumps into Parise away from the puck. Penalty. Discipline problems here. Now 2 more players in a go. It's quite obvious Brad Meyer and Brad Watson are going to be very active in this game. There are concurrent minors call, but I believe the arm was up for a minor before that. We'll see.
It is. It's going to be an interference call on Ryan Parent, and then it's going to be roughing to Hartnell. Let's hear from the referee.
Philadelphia 77, interference. Philadelphia 19, New Jersey 24, roughing.
Obviously, the referees are coming down with a hammer real fast in this one. But the original call was on Ryan Parent for interference. Then Hartnell and Salvador pushing and shoving back out around the blue line.
That's the interference call against Ryan Parent. This is the rough that ensued. Devils had complete control of the puck and were about ready to threaten on a scoring opportunity. So with that double, or at least the coincidental minors did, was negate a Devil scoring chance.
And because the penalties occur at the same point in the game, it's not a 4-on-3 advantage. It's just a 5-on-4.
Boy, 10 minutes into the game, and the Flyers now with their 4th penalty.
It was New Jersey who lacked the discipline in game 2. But the Flyers, you come out, you get amped up at home, Bill, and it's in general it's a positive, but sometimes maybe you're overamped a little. And for the Flyers, they've got to kill another one. And Chris Pronger clears the puck all the way down right off the faceoff.
It's a tricky formula.
Paul Martin starting up. From the red line, winding it in. Perrier first to it. Hold the puck aside, and Blair Betts over. The dynamic duo on the penalty kill combined to clear the puck all the way down. And they head off the ice to get fresh legs. Back out onto the surface as Zajac navigates his way to the Philadelphia line. Off of the right wing, Lingenberg. Quick shot, and that one off of Zajac and then the glass. Back to Ralston, point shot blocked by Giroux. And he's able to tuck the puck past him and down the ice, but Giroux stung by that shot block. He limps to the Philadelphia bench. There he is in quite a bit of pain. Martin leaves it for Elias. 65 seconds on the power play. Kovalchuk turned back by Betts. And he'll swerve back into his own zone. Hearing the boos from the crowd here as the pass goes to Elias. He's hit by LaPerriere as the Devils go in offside. Well, perhaps the puck flipped up into the crowd. Actually, the puck went out of play.
Well, the Flyers continue their relentless pursuit of the Cup Tuesday night here at the Wachovia Center. Great lower-level seats are available. Here's your chance to be part of the playoff excitement. Just call 800-298-4200 or visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. I'll tell you who loses out when you have to kill this many penalties. Guys like James Van Riemsdyk that's trying to build on a real solid Game 2 performance. He's not a penalty killer. Danny Briere, not a penalty killer. When you're trying to get your whole bench into the game, this isn't the way to do it.
It is not. Gagne with a steal, and he'll poke the puck to center ice. And Bill, you played the game. It's so difficult. I mean, 1 or 2 shifts for those guys almost 12 minutes in. I mean, you warm up, you get all amped up, and then you're sitting there. And it's just really impossible to do in any kind of rhythm. Kovalchuk centering here, but misfiring.
But they're going to be really fresh in the third.
That is true. And if this game happens to go to overtime.
There you go.
Here's Kovalchuk sneaking in. Cross for Green, shot. That's nullified by Richards. Flyers trying to clear, but Green will keep it in. And Richards blocks his pass attempt and stuffs it down the ice, and that'll do it. Flyers back to full strength. right now. 8 minutes to play in this first period. A 1-1 game. Despite being down 4 times, the Flyers have only allowed 4 shots on goal through 12 plus minutes. Carl takes the hit to make the play. Coburn is checked. Briere trying to clear, could not. Zajac. Langenbrunner around behind now, hoping for Ralston. Langenbrunner over to get to it. Ralston picks up the puck, drops it back. Motto shot goes wide. Langenbrunner couldn't get his stick on it for redirection. Now in front, Zajac couldn't get control. Motto back to Zajac. And his pass snuffed out by Hartnell. He threw it out to center ice. Zajac able to deny that bid to Carter. Jeff takes it back toward his own zone. Risky play, but they get away with it, and Krychek moves to Hartnell. Hartnell in the middle. He's got Briere cutting to the middle. Briere the shot! Save! Brodeur! What a great save as Briere had him leaning, but Brodeur able to stretch out.
Had him leaning and had Brodeur moving with him. Briere was moving across the ice. Brodeur was mirroring him. And Danny Briere just about caught Marty Brodeur going too far.
Lee McCammon in all the way around. Centered it in front, and Boucher the save on Corrente. What a save there by Boucher as the Devils did not miss the net with that offering, although they have on 6 others. Martin sneaks it in along the boards. Steven in there trying to clear, but could not. Martin to Corrente for the shot wide. Steven in on it again, ahead for Van Riemsdyk as he gets, I believe, his 2nd shift of the game. And his pass for Giroux, but he lost it. Corrente to Elias, it across the line. Slams on the brakes, hits the late man, it's Green. Surrounded by orange jerseys, pokes the puck free, his stick comes flying out. It's centered in front. Parise was there, couldn't get a piece of that. Centering attempt and the Flyers clear. As usual, the pace tremendous. Flyers jump at a loose puck, it's Richards moving on in, across the line, Richards. Slaps that one off to Gagne, who then tried to center, but it went on through and out to center. Pronger there. And he gets to Carl. Right back to Pronger, and now Carl again. In the middle, off of Carcillo, but gathered by White. They're knocking the puck down one more time ahead. Richards trying to get there, but instead it's fired up right near Steve Coates. But it missed him. He's okay, folks. So is Claude Giroux. Tied this game at 1. Earlier on. A goal each. Ryan Ralston tallying on the power play for the Devils at 7:15.
Things could be worse for the Flyers. They've had to kill 4 penalties, but they've done a magnificent job in spite of allowing a goal. The Devils only had 2 scoring chances total in their 4 power plays.
And there's the Flyers goal scorer, Claude Giroux. And of course, whenever a Flyer scores, it's for a case of tasty cakes and proceeds to the Flyers Live charity. Flyers control off the neutral zone draw.
Face-off win number 11 for the Flyers out of 14 draws in this game. Flyers have just gotten stronger as the series has progressed. Worked good in the first period of game 2 and then just dominated from there.
Probably just about evened up the draws for the series with this dominant first period. Here's Paul Martin looking to move on up. And he'll bounce one in off of Krychek deep into Philadelphia ice. From Terrence Cancel. Now it's Aaron Asham the other way. Asham dancing around Kovalchuk. Asham holding on his pass from Van Riemsdyk. Sent it back to the blue paint. By the time he got the puck to settle, he was too deep. Now Asham in the slot, poke checked. Mark Fraser in his first game of the series. Kovalchuk takes over. Kovalchuk gets some speed, lost the puck. Now they're tipping it to Hartnell. Now it's Matt Carl. All the way across, Danny Briere. Around Zajac. Might have gotten hooked a bit. Carl wanted that call. They're not going to get it. Carl tries to pinch. Green has it poked away. Briere and Salvador race after it. To walk harder. He wanted that puck. That's a good sign. Got it around behind the net. And now it's cleared up and out of the zone. Very important for Jeff Carter to not let the frustration over not scoring affect his overall game. That's what his coach been telling him. There's Hartnell in front. That one dribbled just wide, and Carter was in the vicinity. Might have had himself a goal right there anyhow, but just couldn't quite catch up to it. Now his pass there behind Hartnell. Scott goes back and chops it into the Devils zone.
It's still a real valuable shift played in the offensive zone, and confidence will come even without scoring as long as Jeff Carter is spending time where he likes to spend it, and that's on offense, not on defense.
Over missing Carcillo with that outlet pass, so it'll turn into icing as Mike Motto goes back for the touch-up. Well, Comcast Sportsnet is your best source for inside access to the Flyers fight for Lord Stanley's Cup. Get a complete breakdown with expert analysis of Flyers Devils Eastern Conference quarterfinal action on the Ultimate Goal. Next show Monday night, 6:30 and 10:30, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Comcast Sportsnet all over it when one of the local teams gets into the playoffs. We'll be up to date on everything going on, and usually on the off day, something happens noteworthy. It's worth talking about, whether it's gamesmanship or potential lineup changes. Richards carries the puck into the Devils zone. Gagne trying to get away from him. So he got away from Elias, got the puck back to Coburn. The backhanded in along the wall. He is checked. Mo Timonen activated in along the wall as he tries to keep that puck free. Got it back to Gagne for a shot. Saberto rebounded Timonen. Timonen takes a look and then around behind the net. But that one cut off before it got to Carcillo by Paul Martin. And finally it bounces out to center ice. 3 minutes, 10 seconds remaining here in this first period. Only 9 total shots. 5 for the Devils, 4 for the Flyers. A lot of action. Only 9 shots. Carl starts up. Carl will flip it in. They say he did so from the red line. No icing. After he got a piece of green, the puck bouncing through LePerriere. Tipped it, but Cabot tracks it down and bounces it out to center and down the ice. His Krychek back to retrieve. Up in the middle. Betts had difficulty gathering that one, but no harm. And now it's Ryan Parent to the red line, but willing to get the puck deep. And the Devils pump it back out to center, and play is stopped. We'll be back.
Well, during the timeout, Jacques Lemaire with some harsh words, but it wasn't for the linesmen or the refs that have called this too many men on the ice penalty. He was actually really animated when he was talking to his guys. He is upset that his troops have taken this too many men on the ice penalty.
Potentially huge penalty if the Flyers could score here and get the lead late in period number 1. Linesman called it, although we weren't quite sure what he was calling for a while before he finally got around to saying there was a penalty. That's all the Flyers care about. They're going to the Mad Advantage. There's our Jeep trivia question of the game. Who scored the game-winning goal to secure the first ever playoff win against the Devils on June the 7th, 1995? Blair Renberg will Lindros. Which member? Legion of Doom. You see that number as the Flyers spent a lot of time with the Mad Advantage. Game 2, Pronger. Timonen turning with it. It's passed down low. There's the 4 power play goals already in the series. Briere. Driving that, looking for Carter. It's tipped away. Centers it back out in front of Ricochets. Back around toward Carter. Check there. Gets some help from Briere. Briere trying to get it to the point. Timonen's there. And they'll set it back up. Briere holding on. Pronger stuck down low. Puck didn't make it out front. Briere now gets it in front, but right on past Pronger out to Timonen. Hartnell's back out at the point. Now here's Carter with a shot off. Rodeur stick back out in front. Bouncing puck. Nobody could corral it until Langenbrunner flings it all the way down. Have to keep an eye on Chris Pronger now, as he has scored 2 power play goals from in the paint. And he had snuck down low. And once he goes down low, Billy just stays there.
Well, he likes it.
Yeah. It's gotten comfortable.
It's working.
Richards in. The pass to Giroux. Giroux backhander. Rodor just trying to get control of that bouncing puck, and he finally did.
Flyers really haven't threatened yet on this power play. 49 seconds to go on it. Boy, if you're playing with Claude Giroux, one of the great ideas is just to get open. I mean, if you can find the seam, more times than not, he will find you.
He is 22 years of age, but he gets the playoff pressure. He was a strong player, one of the top players for the Flyers against Pittsburgh last year, and he started this series very impressively. That puck skips up into the safety netting, and they say off a Flyer. They're going to move the faceoff out of the zone. Gives us time to thank our guests in the family sections, 222 and 222A, the Flyers and Lehigh Valley Dairy Farms. fans up there. They've seen a spirited first period. Not a lot of shots, Bill, but
which is really surprising given the fact that half of the period's been played with a man advantage.
that's right. 6 power plays.
The Devils have only had 3 shots on goal in their 4 power plays.
Richards gets the puck in, sent it toward the New Jersey net, but White was right there. Pronger will keep it in. Gagne across for Timonen. Timonen holds back to Pronger. One-time drive! And a save made by Brodeur, even though he had some traffic. Dumped was Gagne as the puck was cleared out to center. 13 seconds on the power play. Richards now tumbled, and the puck picked up by the Devils and sent back into the Philadelphia zone. Crowd not very happy here, Bill. As Pronger moves up his pass for Giroux. Giroux stays on side and swings it down low. 22 seconds of the period as the Devils are back to full strength. On the wall, Timonen and Betts. Now Powell. Shot! And the save made by Brodeur as Betts tried to get his stick in on it. Perrier. He's tripped up right in front of one of the referees, and play carries on. Peter Laviolette not happy about that. And Andy Green will clear. The problem is the referee, once you call it really tight early on, they expect you to keep that up. And Peter Laviolette is not happy that a couple of those plays that are late in the period did not go as penalties. As it is, 1-1 through 20 minutes of play. And tonight's Flyers Devils first period was brought to you by McDonald's. Get a small premium roast coffee for 89 cents and a medium for just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by Kia Motors. Kia, the power to surprise. Let's go down ice level to Steve Coates. He's with the Flyers goal scorer.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. And I would say that you enjoy playing against the New Jersey Devils. You pick up your second of the playoffs, but you led all Flyers scoring against the Devils this year. But right now, you just seem to be on your game.
Well, on that goal, I didn't really do much. I just went to the net, and Timonen was able to just put it on my stick. I don't know how he did it, but it was a beautiful pass.
Well, you know, it's about going to the net and putting yourself in a position. We thought it might have been White that it hit, but you put your stick in such a position that maybe you didn't see it to the last minute, but still, because it was in the right position, you score the goal.
Yeah, like I said, I just put my stick on the ice, and Timonen is very good on those passes, on his slap shot passes, and it was a nice, very nice pass.
Claude, thank you very much.
Thanks. Back
up to you, Jimmy.
All right, Coatsy, thank you very much. 4 goals, 4 assists in his first 9 playoff games. Not bad. There's our menu. We'll now be back to break this one down, as will Michael Barkan and the post-game live crew. All that and more coming up right after these messages. 1-1 after 1. This portion of Flyers hockey on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Chevrolet and your local Chevy dealers. Flyers and Devils tied at 1 through 20 minutes of play here in Game 3. And welcome back. And what do you know, Bill Clement? A tight hockey game in these Stanley Cup playoffs. It really has become the norm. There have been 16 games completed in the Stanley Cup playoffs thus far. 14 of them have been either 1-goal games or 1-goal games until empty net goals were scored. I mean, that is balance. That is competition.
Well, and add to that the fact that not one series has gone 2-0 for one of the teams. Everybody is split. Nashville and Chicago haven't played their game 2 yet. But that tells you how competitive it is. So when people talk about just getting into the playoffs and then just playing every game and seeing what you can do, it's almost as if there aren't favorites. I mean, Montreal almost went up 2-0 on the Washington Caps, except for some soft goaltending last night.
Yeah, that was very close. And in fact, if you're watching the games, it's just great drama. And here are the breakdown, here are the brackets, the Eastern Conference. Everything's at 1-1 as play starts tonight for some of these teams. And, you know, some surprisingly competitive. When you think about Washington, Montreal, I think a lot of people thought Washington would have their way with the Canadiens. Hasn't happened that way. What do you think about the Western Conference, Bill?
I think the West is going to be just as compelling as the East. And one thing that you don't know about when the playoffs begin, if you think your team is at a big disadvantage, consider the injury factor. Ottawa lost Milan Mihalik, but Buffalo now has Jochen Hecht out of the lineup, and they lost Thomas Vanek last night, their top goal scorer. You never know. So you just keep playing. Sometimes injuries take their toll and the door opens for you, but besides that, sometimes another team whose guts you might hate during the regular season will do you the biggest favor in the world by knocking somebody out that's a real threat to you. So just keep playing. It gets more interesting every round.
Yeah, because of the reseeding process, one upset changes everything. Moving on to the next round, should you be fortunate to do so. So just a great tournament, off to a phenomenal start here through the first 4 or 5 days. When our coverage continues of Game 3, it's time to set it down to the studios. Michael Barkan, Rick Tocchet, Al Morganti will break this one down. 1-1, first intermission.
Intermission report, we go to Detroit. Red Wings hosting the Coyotes. Game 3 of that series, it's tied at 1. Phoenix with a 1-goal lead with 8.5 minutes left, and here comes Radim Vrbata. Beats Jimmy Howard to make it 4-2 Coyotes. 4-2 final as Phoenix takes a 2-1 series lead. We welcome you in our studio. First intermission, Al Morganti, Rick Tocchet, Michael Barkan. We got to talk about the 2 goals. 6 power play opportunities for both teams. 4 for New Jersey, 2 for the Flyers. Both goals in this 1-1 game are power play goals. Let's take the first one, Al. 7:15 into the game, the Brian Ralston goal.
Yeah, they were going to get a goal eventually, get enough power plays. And this is what happens on a power play when you go down to block shots and it doesn't happen. Devils control the puck, get it around. And it works a lot when you block the shot. But when you go down too early to block a shot, LaPerrier's been so good. He goes down too early, gets up, and then Betts goes down to block it. The lane's open. Shot comes through, Toc beats him with a shot.
Yeah, Ralston's done this in the past, and he's had a quiet year, but he can bring it. Great patience by him, and Bush had no chance. I mean, that's a CNI shot right there.
Yeah, it looked like you see his head flick over at the last second. It was already past him. So that's 1-0. That was the 3rd power play for the Devils. How about the Flyers' first power play? How'd that go for them? 1 of 2 on the power play, and we'll check that out because it's a beautiful shot by Kimmo Timonen and redirected. And it's tough to do, huh, Toc?
Yeah, well, they just had a chance here. Obviously good patience here. Pronger, obviously, Timonen. Now, folks, this is a pass. I know people think it's an errant shot. That's a great pass, and for Giroux to see that puck at the last minute goes through, I think it's Colin White's feet. Yeah. Those are 2 special plays and a great goal to get the Flyers back in now.
Yeah, you got to, if you're going to take that many penalties and then you get right back in it, it really hurt the Devils to let this one up. And Giroux has been just absolutely their best player. And we checked out the ice time, Toc, and he's not their leading ice time guy right now.
No, he's playing 15 minutes. I think, he should be playing a little bit more.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Here's what we're going to do. We're on csnphilly.com right now. We'll take a quick pause. And when we return, what about those 6 penalties called that resulted in 6 power play opportunities for both teams? A little too much? csnphilly.com right now.
Tonight's second period from the Wachovia Center is brought to you by Acura Advance and by Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you. First period scoring summary. Ralston the Devils out to a 1-0 lead, but quickly on the power play, Claude Giroux and the Flyers respond. Second period underway in this tie hockey game at 1 in this series, tied at 1 in games. And the puck immediately goes out of play, so they'll drop the puck again, and more numbers to digest from period number 1. Mr. Clement?
More numbers, and small numbers for the Devils in spite of the fact that they had 4 power plays. The Flyers with a really good job on the kill. See, the Devils only managed 5 total shots, and they had 4 power plays. There was not one New Jersey Devils shot that made it to Brian Boucher in the last 6 minutes and 51 seconds of the first period.
Well, that is getting it done offensively, wearing the orange jersey. Face off here right at the center dot.
I can't remember the Flyers having as dominant a period on the faceoffs as they had in period 1. 14 out of 18 were won by Philadelphia.
And that certainly helps the penalty kill. You're winning draws with one less man on the ice and getting that puck out of the zone. As Ian LaPerriere will spin it into the Devils zone. Martin Brodeur moves the puck to the corner, and then White ahead to Kovalchuk. Cross ice, here's Jamie Langenbrunner looking for Mike Motto. The play ends up offside. As soon as the Devils touch, they do not. They get back out of the zone, and so play carries on. Coburn across for Timonen. Back forward and now whipping it across ice. Perrier met by Colin White as he dumps to the corner. Coburn charges after. And then Richards. Coburn's lost a glove, so he's going to head off the ice. Actually, it's a devil glove on the ice. Coburn did head off the ice, but it's not his glove. Here's Gagne behind the net. Gagne turning that one wide. Back out to the point. It's Pronger. It's Mark Fraser without a glove, and he's got the puck right now. Very dangerous to do that. He gets hammered into the boards. Flyers get to the puck. Center in front, and Richard scores! The captain continues his run of scoring here in this series and gives the Flyers their first lead of the night. Richard scores for a case of Tasty Cakes.
I have no idea if Mark Fraser was worried about that bare hand, but boy, I'll tell you, did he get forechecked. Good pinch and a deep forecheck by Braden Coburn. That's when Fraser lost his glove. Mike Richards working down behind the net. Got great help quickly right here from Simon Gagne. Bang. And then Dan Carcillo supporting Gagne, lifting the stick, centering out to Mike Richards. That's how you draw up a forecheck.
And that is the way Peter Laviolette has his teams play. Getting in on that forecheck. Here's Carcillo. With a pass across ice for Gagne, tipped away by Green. And Green gets buried by Richards on a check. They are still tangled up. Richards trying to get onside, does. No. Well, the linesman waved as though the play was good, but at the same time, he was blowing his whistle for the offside call. So I went for the pump fake there, Coach. See, the play was offside.
Boy, there's been some outstanding hitting. But, you know, there's no two ways about it that Fraser, because the puck was still in the defensive zone, he couldn't take a chance of coming off. You always like to see a player come off the ice when he loses a glove. Now, let's take a look at this hit. Carcillo complaining to the referee. Richards hits Green and then kind of drags him down, but I think Green kind of held on the way down also.
They let that one go, and there was more contact as the crowd fully involved again. And the officials, the referees, most notably called a very tight first period, but early on, they've let a couple things go here in the second, so we'll see. Pronger gets decked by Zubris. He's had a strong series. I don't see Pronger hit the ice like that very often. Powell shrugs off Salvador and gets to the puck deep in Devil's ice. Powell to Pronger, across ice. And then we'll just finesse that in along for LePerriere. Carter shuffles it to the other corner. Salvador is there, and he'll throw it up the middle to Zubris. Zubris for Patrick Elias. Heading to the middle, then drop pass for Zubris. Now back across ice it goes. Elias to Zubris for the shot. Save made by Boucher. His first save in quite a while. Now Mato in front. Redirection try by Elias. Gets caught up in Coburn's skates. Finds the puck and pops it out of the zone and down the ice. What do they call that? Icing. I think I might have been able to get to that puck, but Colin White finally gets to it and they call it icing.
There's some weirdness in this hockey game. We had a linesman waving that there was no offside, only to call the offside. We had a too many men penalty where it looked like it was a new hand dance for a mime.
Yeah, the robot dance.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. They're doing the refs are the best guys in the world, and they've got the toughest job in the world. They've been throwing a couple of head fakes in this one.
When the building's this loud, you got to go by the signals as much as hearing the whistles. Some of the signals have been interesting. Here's teaming it. Head off a stick, gathered by Martin. He'll play it to himself off the wall, but then he's run down by Powell.
So the Devils have finally had a shot on goal. They went 9 minutes and 16 seconds between shots. That's how good the Flyers have been defensively.
When they finally got one, it was a dandy, and Boucher was ready. I mean, you go half a period of game action without seeing the puck and then face a tester like that and make the save as confidently as he did. That's really getting it done. There's Colin White. Across for Martin. All down from behind by Briere. He was falling down, and then Briere sort of finished him off, but clearly looks as though coaches are going to let him play a little more here in the second.
I'll tell you what, the linesmen, the referees, they're all targets right now. Steve Miller, Mark Suchek, they were getting it from the Devils bench, and Meyer and Watson, of course, have been getting it from both benches. So I'll tell you what, it's a free-for-all down here.
Here's Aaron Asham. Cross ice pass tipped away. Dean McCammon looks for the counter rush. Matt Coretti has it with a step. Coretti tried to cut in. Back came Krajcek. No penalty as he knocked him down.
Oh my. Well, I will tell you,
Lemaire is irate.
He should be. That's an absolute penalty by anybody's standards in any period.
Krajcek Got away with one. Sent it back around behind. Here's Gagne to Giroux. Giroux and somehow spotted Aaron Asham. Tries to move up. Martin trying to rub him out. They get their sticks in the midsections. Now a penalty is coming up
on Paul Martin, I think.
Wow.
No, is it on Aaron
Asham? Because we're seeing if Martin's okay. But Asham's going to the Philadelphia bench. Now the finger does point toward Aaron Asham.
Paul Martin tried to squash Aaron Asham off of the play.
45.
And Asham got his stick up on Paul Martin as he was going down.
So it will be a New Jersey power play.
And moments ago, Matt Correnti, the rookie on this try. You know what?
I don't think he did hook him.
Take that back. That is my bad, and a great non-call by the refs. I thought he had completely can opened him. Didn't at all, did he?
I don't think so. It looked as though he went down. The timing of it made it look like the stick caused him to go down, but it looked as though he sort of lost an edge. I'm not sure where the stick went initially, as the Devils get their power play now, and a shot there wide from Ralston, and Green could not keep it in. Bill, I think the initial movement of the stick might have been a hook that they let go, but he didn't hit the ice because of anything Prychek did, I don't think.
So I thought it was an absolute blown call that went the Flyers' way, and that replay looked like they made the right call.
Well, Billy, in your defense, you didn't see that second replay until the second opportunity, right? So with that look.
Yeah, Coach, they didn't either, so that's how good a call it was, or a good non-call.
Jacques Lemaire is still going with our first story. he doesn't like the call. But anyhow, they do have their power play, but it's almost half over already. Here's Martin moving in. Drops it off to Clarkson. Got it to Kovalchuk. Runs through Gagne, and then the pass across. Martin back to Kovalchuk. Kovalchuk, a shot! And glanced off of something in front. Pronger knocks Clarkson down with a cross check. And battle in front, and then knocks him down again. Here's Kovalchuk to Martin. Looking for a shooting lane. Ralston back across. Kovalchuk had hopped over his stick. Then a diving play. They poke it ahead 2-on-1. Gagne with LaPerriere. Gagne. Hold shot. Save Brodeur. Actually, that was Timonen moving in with Gagne, not LaPerriere. It was Gagne who got the shot off that Brodeur stopped. A great pass to set that all up. Two Flyers diving after it. Kovalchuk in the slot for Parise. He couldn't come away with it. Now the other way goes Blair Betts. Getting help. It's now 4-on-2. Betts drops it. LaPerriere shot deflected. Goes off of Motto's stick and into the safety netting. Just 6 seconds remain on the penalty. The crowd letting the Flyer penalty killers hear it.
Well, they deserve it as well. Brian Boucher has just been really well protected. The number one threat is Ilya Kovalchuk. He has not had a chance to threaten. Zach Parise is the other guy. And shorthanded, this is the chance the Flyers generated. Kimmo Timonen came so close to deflecting this.
Well, Gagne does a great job. He's waiting for that traffic, and then he just kind of jumped right in front of the Devil defender, but he just couldn't hold on to that puck enough to really get a good shot on net.
As the Devils move up, Asham leaves the box. Zubas is shot off a skate and wide. Back to full-strength hockey. 13:35 to play here in the second. Coburn ahead. Zubas intercepts. What a horse he's been in this series. Zubas the shot, save, Boucher, rebound. He couldn't quite cover it. He kept it out of the net, though. Back out to White. Across ice. Motto a shot, and that one ricochets wide. Back out to White. The Devils look to go to work in the offensive zone. Motto. On that by Van Riemsdyk. And then the Flyers work the puck free. Now rolls it back around. Coburn ahead for Asham. Aaron Asham to the Devils line. Will wind and fire wide. Perhaps off the stick, and then Motto able to get to it. His long stretch pass too far for Kovalchuk. It's icing if the Flyers get there, and Pronger does.
Well, if you've never seen a Flyers game from a single event suite, playoffs are the perfect time. Co-workers, clients, family, friends, doesn't matter. Bring them all if you'd like. Great view of the ice. Private restrooms, bar, wait staff. Just call 215-389-9500 or visit mypremiumtix.com.
You see the orange out, if you will, going on here. All fans attending tonight's game receive orange shirts. courtesy of Luke Oil, Lehigh Valley Dairy Farms, PJ Wilhelms, Lexus, US Air, Kia Motors, and the Community College of Philadelphia. It is an impressive sight. All the orange here at the Wachovia Center. Here's Kovalchuk. In the middle, one-time shot. Salvador goes wide. Rebound, backhander, save. Boucher off of Zajac, and he's able to cover. And he'll hear the Bouge chant from the orange-clad fans. Mike Richards has given the Flyers their first lead of the night.
2-1, the Philadelphia Flyers lead the Devils here, 12:33 remaining in the second period. If you like hitting, welcome to the Devils Flyers playoff series, as there's been the dandy hits at both ends of the ice. Some legal, some illegal, but the bottom line is that the referees have been getting an awful lot of heat because of the type of hits that we've seen in this hockey game. Some ticky-tacky calls. In fact, Peter Laviolette said, hey, I got to get the referees over here, and he had a talk with Brad Meyer and Brad Watson prior to the beginning of the second period.
Well, I'm not sure if it's because of that, but certainly appears to be a different style in terms of the officiating here in the second period. I might need Peter Laviolette to go have a talk with my kids when they act up. Boy, it's had an impact here, Bill. I don't think it was all that, but it's definitely a change here this second period as Green sent that one up the boards. Pronger's right there, sent it toward the net, off a stick. The Devils able to recover, couldn't clear. Briere for Hartnell. Hartnell couldn't control, and Kovalchuk will flip it ahead. Ian McCammon tracks it down. The former Flyer to the Philadelphia line, off to Ralston for a shot, snared by Boucher, and he'll hang on. Well, after the game, get the most extensive breakdown with expert analysis from former Flyer Rick Tocchet, plus exclusive team reactions. Flyers post-game live presented by McDonald's after the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Not only Tock, Al Morgani, Michael Barquez, Steve Coach John Borg, all hands on deck to dissect this playoff series.
You need Peter Laviolette to talk to your kids.
Yeah.
You need to talk to somebody.
Well, if he has that kind of impact, I'd say. There's a backhanded attempt by Zubris. Save made. There's Zubris again, just a bull rush.
Well, I tell you what,
that crease area.
He is the hardest devil. I mean, Zach Parise is only 5'11" and a $190. Zubris at 6'5", close to 230, is a monster when they develop the forecheck down low. So with Parise and Zubris on the same line, the one place you don't want them to end up is down low.
And Boucher, sensing that, will just grab the puck here. Flyers doing so well on faceoffs. He's certainly not afraid to hang right on to it. Look at that. Michael Renberg and Dinas Zubris, the former Flyers, to score a third period game-winning goal in the playoffs against the Flyers. Both came up as youngsters with the Flyers and then played into their 30s elsewhere in the NHL. Dinas Zubris now 31 years of age.
He's related to an oak tree.
It's like getting an oak tree out of the slot, that's for sure. Boucher will cover up again with Niedermeyer nearby.
The nasty meter is constantly rising in this game. David Clarkson and Chris Pronger right there going at it in front of Brian Boucher.
And off the draw to Boucher's left. The puck pops free out to center and down the ice. Razor back to get it. His first game of the series, he's been victimized for the tie-breaking goal. Van Riemsdyk tried to center, and Frazier takes out some of his frustration on Van Riemsdyk, but the Flyers win the battle and get the puck back out to Pronger. He'll wind and fire blocked by Kovalchuk, and Frazier will move it ahead. He's upended. Flyers after that puck, but Niedermeyer back to get to it, and Clarkson will send it down the ice. No icing here as Pronger is back, and he finds Carl. Carl ahead for Hartnell, hanging out at the Devils line, but he was checked by Martin, who then gave it away to Asham. Aaron Asham controlling with his skates, trying to move it past Martin. Does, but Hartnell was off balance, couldn't knock that puck down, and Langenbrunner then turns it over. Flyers getting to it, Cutter the shot, and that one ricochets and then bounces right back out in front. Big shot there by Briere, and it takes off and finds the boards and glass. Briere back to Coburn. Coburn around behind the net for Hartnell. Scott Hartnell knocked down from behind and scrambling, and then he upends the Devil. It's all good, they say, as Carter now trying to move it around. Bounces back out to Coburn, lobs it Martin knocks it down and finally backhands to Zajac. The Devils move it out to center, but Tiemann right back ahead for Briere, and he'll poke the puck deep into the Devils zone. Halfway through regulation time as Hartnell arrives and he'll humor on Martin. The puck to Colin White, and he'll bank it out to center. Flyers get to it. So as we pass at midpoint of regulation time, just 10 shots for the Flyers, 13 for the Devils. There's Powell. Now behind, hoping for Betts. McCammon got in the way, but then turned it over to Briere. Briere tries to tuck it in. Brodeur made the save, or hit the side, but not either one. Flyers get back to it. Betts. Briere, now Powell. Powell to the corner, ridden by McCammon. Hard work along the boards by Darryl Powell. Tips to Briere, but Briere is checked by Martin. Briere trying to come back. The puck tipped. There's Powell stealing it again. Darryl Powell with a buzzsaw on this shift. Takes a hit, but got the puck deep again. White is upended as the puck goes out to center ice. This is getting nasty. Here's Krejcik moving in his shot, deflects high in the air, all the way to the corner. LaPerriere. Betsy could not knock it down. Paul Martin couldn't clear cleanly as he broke his stick. And LaPerriere gets to the puck. LaPerriere from the angle all the way around behind. Has a look, pass across, Gagne's shot, and it hit the post. It hit the post. Richards back across, hoping for Gagne. Martin still without his stick, but the Devils able to survive that and clear all the way down. It's icing, and they've got some tired people that will have to stay on the ice. Lemaire might think about using his timeout here.
That's not a bad idea. The Flyers kept turning the play back into the Devils zone, and in the second period, you're a long way from your bench when you're trapped in the defensive zone, so the Devils couldn't change. Great scoring chance here for Simon Gagne. Oh, right off the post.
Jacques Lemaire is definitely going to take a timeout. It appeared like he waved for the timeout. The referee came over. But now...
might have waited too long,
I think they did, because now all of a sudden we're right back at it. And the 5-on-5, the Devils were controlling 5-on-5. Now they're going to they're going to get it.
Wow, they let him get...
Dean McCammon just called it.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought once you're set up for the face-off, they wouldn't give that time. He's going to get not only the timeout, but all that time just getting ready for the face-off. So he'll get full value here. He'll have his troops fully rested.
Well, as I was saying, the Devils had been controlling in the early part of that second period the 5-on-5 play. But boy, this last couple of minutes, the Flyers have completely turned this thing completely around.
Yeah, really good pursuit on Coetzee in the offensive zone and puck retrievals by everybody. But like that second period, if you miss your opportunity to change and you start to run out of gas, looks like it's a mile and a half from your bench.
Face off to the left of Brodeur now that the timeout has run its course. It'll be McCammon against Richards. And McCammon won it cleanly. Martin couldn't get it past Richards, who tries to center, a bouncing puck across, swept out of there by New Jersey. McCammon moves it ahead. To the right side, Matt Carl will track it down. Now the shot there wide. Gagne fire. Battle forward in the corner. Marcillo, Gagne. Scrum for Richards, emerges with a puck. His shot, though, blocked off by Green, and it goes out of play. Let's take a breath. 7:58 remaining in a raucous second period. The Flyers on top. Good to see their captain.
Well, a couple of fans there that everybody should recognize. The Philadelphia Phillies are here, and they're taking in a real good one here this afternoon. And let's take a look at our Wachovia great check of the game, because that's all part of what the Phillies are seeing here. Mike Richards and Green right there. Mike Green going right up against the wall. I mean, Andy Green, rather. And Richards, I mean, he just takes the body all the time. He's so good at it right there. One of our better checks, and it's our Wachovia great check of the game.
Unfortunately for the Phillies, more hits in this particular game than the Phillies had in their game. Today is a turnover, and Boucher barely lives to tell about that one as it was stuffed wide by the Devils' Zubris. And now the puck hops out of play. That became an adventure.
something to be said for composure. And composure was required on this play by Brian Boucher. The forecheck by who else? Dinas Zubris.
Parise behind the net. Zubris out in front. And Zubris, not sure if that hit something going across, Bill, but fortunate that it stayed out. The Flyers still have the lead. 7.5 remaining. Crowd for the first time in a while is quieted. Team to miss that puck in center. There comes Boucher out of his cage and almost played that outside the trapezoid as he followed through with it, but he got away with it. And now Hartnell pumps it into the Devils zone. Brodeur kept it away from him. And the Devils clear. Timonen over to get it. Takes the hit from Langenbrunner. Coburn in traffic. Gets it back to Timonen. Now the right wing dish for Briere. Drop past Carter. Swooping on in. Shot! And Brodeur got a piece. Now Parent dumping it down low, but try to recover. Hartnell dumped by Colin White. And Kovalchuk will clear off Langenbrunner's stick to center ice. Sent back in by Parent. Flyers will change. Colin White will settle things down. Veteran defenseman who broke a more than 100-game postseason goalless drought. His goal in game 2. Niedermayer a shot blocked off by Parent. It's Niedermayer to the boards, but Niedermayer still controls. Giroux's there. He couldn't get it past Niedermayer. Down low. That one dribbles perhaps off of Boucher to the corner. High check. Tries the other side of the ice. Van Riemsdyk back for it. He'll move it along to Giroux. Giroux turns and on the tape to Asham. Winds, fakes the shot, then takes it. Stick save, Brodeur. Giroux back after it. Thrown to the wall by LeBlanc, and then the Devils move it ahead. That's us along with our great crew here from the Wachovia Center. Glad to be bringing you Flyers Devils game 3. Van Riemsdyk on in, and then he's buried by Fraser on the check. Knocks him down. Fraser down away from the plate. First period, that might have been a penalty, but not here in the second. Letting him play.
I like this version.
I do too. I'm with you. Now Van Riemsdyk watching his bets. Gets the puck deep into the Devils zone. To LePerriere. Has completed the change. LePerriere to Pau now. Got to get it back to LePerriere, but Salvador's there. He'll bank it all the way down. This will be icing on New Jersey as Carl is back for the touch-up.
And don't forget, the Flyers' pursuit of the Cup continues at home Tuesday night. It is Game 4. Tickets for all Round 1 home games are on sale now. Call 800-298-4200 or just visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. Come on out and join the playoff party.
All right, playoff throw, playoff beard right there. Both of them going.
Scott Hartnell fan.
There you go. McCammon and Briere. Briere won that draw. Coburn overskated, and it's poked out to center by Brian Ralston. Timonen banks, but right there is Fraser ahead for Parente. A couple of the young Devils combined to move the puck into the Philadelphia zone. Cleared up and out. McCammon chased by Carter. Now Bryce Salvador gets the red line, fires it back in. Parise and Timonen come together. Coburn trying to control Zubris. Easier said than done. Good work along the wall by Dinas Zubris. Back out to the point. Motto across for White. A wrist shot. It bounced off Timonen wide. Elias recovers. Tried to center. Timonen at the side of the net. Stops him. Now the net is off its moorings and play is stopped. Will there be a penalty? Yes, there will be a penalty out in center ice. The referee spots something. We'll tell you about it when we come back. Game 3, Eastern Conference quarterfinals. Flyers with a 2-1 advantage, but they're shorthanded as Braden Coburn guilty of interference in that last sequence. And so the Devils get their first power play Second power play of the second period. Aaron Asham also gone. Their 6th. That advantage for the game. Ralston across. Green is shot. That one sails wide. Back out to Ralston at the point. Get that toward the middle. Perrier back for Kimmo Timonen. Waits. Gets lots of air under it as he sends it all the way down. Ralston back for it. They'll start up. There's have Zubris out there up front. Kovalchuk. Try to get that puck to Ralston. Tipped by Gagne. Ralston rescued it. Takes it back. Plays catch with Kovalchuk. Now Kovalchuk moves it in. Along the wall. Looking things over. Zubris is right out in front. Back to Ralston. Shot. Score! And Boucher again never saw it. As the Devils again making life very difficult, and they score on the power play. Braden Coburn upset with the call, but the power play goal ties this game at 2.
The biggest man in the Devils lineup from a screening standpoint is Dainis Zubris. Ilya Kovalchuk, yes, he's a threat to shoot, but he dropped this one back to Brian Ralston, and if you were in Brian Boucher's skates, I know all you were seeing was the rear end of Dainis Zubris.
That's all. I mean, and you know what? Kovalchuk's in his office up against the wall there, gets it back to Ralston. Ralston sees it. He reads it, and he sees it. Got big guy Zubris right in front, and Zubris gets himself in that tripod position. Facing the shooter, gets a stick on the ice, spreads the legs to allow that puck to go right through his legs. No way in the world that Boucher could have seen that puck.
So Ralston from Kovalchuk at Elias. One of those goals where Zubris doesn't get the assist, even though he's responsible for the goal, finding its way onto the scoreboard. So it's a 2-2 game. We start over again late here in the second period. And the Devils come up with a loose puck. Niedermeyer for McCammon. 2-on-2. McCammon gets a step on Krejcik. Sent it in front, and Coburn back to make a nice play, breaking it up. Braden Coburn now uses his legs to move the puck the other way to Briere. Briere in, centers! That one all the way through as Hartnell goes skidding into the boards. Back the other way. Zajac with a burst of speed and wind and fires deflected, and then the stick save made by Boucher. Back out to the point it goes. Green. That shot wide all the way out to Salvador. Backhands it to Zajac. Zajac centers. Krejcik tipped it away. Now Carter to Briere. Let's try to get the legs moving through center. Gagne. That shot not much out of easy save for Brodeur. And allows Colin White time to move up into traffic. Lost it. Richards with a pass that could not be handled by Carcillo. Martin gets there. And Martin moving it ahead. Deflects to the line, not out. Gagne down low, getting a stick it after was Richards. Now he's got the puck in the corner. His pass for Gagne. Tucking it down low for Carcillo. Steps in for a quick shot. Save made, Brodeur. Carcillo firing that one right at the feet of Brodeur from the angle. Something the Flyers talked about doing before this series started, but Brodeur had an answer.
And it hasn't happened very often, but that time Dan Carcillo decided to let it go. And because Brodeur's a stand-up goaltender, when the puck ends up in his skates, sometimes it takes him a little while to get down there. He dropped quickly, but what Carcillo was hoping for there was somebody getting to the net quickly enough to get to the puck before Brodeur did. From sharp angles, it's a pretty good strategy against a goalie that stands up a lot.
Into the final 2 minutes of this second period. Devils dumping the puck in from their side of the red line. If Carl could get there, or Betts, it's icing. And it's Blair Betts who actually gets the whistle by playing the puck.
Matt Carl doesn't get a lot of the spotlight attention playing with Chris Pronger, but boy, what a valuable asset he is to Pronger and an important member of that tandem. Had an incredible game one. The puck stopped being as friendly in game two, but Matt Carl absolutely has his skating legs here in game three.
Draw here is to the left of Martin Brodeur. Betts is tossed out. Perrier steps in, and the Flyers still win the draw. Here's Pronger. Shot! Save, Brodeur. He didn't see that to the last moment, but he smothered it. That's Pronger keeping it in again. Didn't get it past Elias. Elias then checked as Betts went in after a broken stick. And the battle is on. And penalty coming up. The broken stick will be the smoking gun here that leads to another New Jersey power play.
Philadelphia penalty number 11, 2-minute slashing.
So the Devils get power play number 7.
And you know, we've talked about this so many times, that the broken stick, okay, you slash the stick and it breaks. The next thing you know, you're going to pick up the penalty, and here comes, you know, the broken stick. But right there, these sticks break so easily, Billy. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
The thoughts are that you can't just go on the broken stick to make the call.
I agree.
Because there are stress fractures too that happen, and weak spots that occur in these sticks. Some of the players that have the sticks don't even know they're there, but they're touched in the wrong place at the wrong time by the wrong guy, and bang. You've got Exhibit A, but I don't think it should stand up all the time.
We're seeing the sticks break when they take shots, so doesn't mean that when a stick is tapped by an opposing player's stick that it deserves a penalty. Ralston with a shot, and LaPerriere lays out, blocks it, and it ricochets back to the neutral zone. But the way it is right now, they consider that broken stick the smoking gun, and they do go up with the arm 18 times out of 20. Into the final minute. Flyers need their penalty kill to step up here. Kovalchuk dancing on in, stopped by Richards. He comes up with the puck, waits, and now tries to send LaPerriere in, but misconnections. Puck still goes all the way down the ice. Ryan Ralston, 2 goals on the night. Goes to Elias. Now Kovalchuk. Moves it around. Elias waits for the puck to get to him, and now Zajac. To Kovalchuk. Out to the point. One-timer Green deflected out high. And dribbled wide. Powell got in the way, but now Zajac across ice. Elias back out Green. To Kovalchuk. Kovalchuk, 10 seconds in the period, all the way across ice. Elias couldn't tee it up. Tried to center, blocked by Timonen, bounces high in the air, tipped away from Green, 4 seconds. Time winding down, Giroux to Powell. Powell, back for Giroux. It goes on through as the horn sounds. So the second period is history. They entered tied, and they leave tied. 2-2 through 40 minutes. Tonight's Flyers Devils second stanza was brought to you by Suzuki and the amazing Kizashi Sport Sedan, and by Metro PCS. Here's what's coming up between periods 2 and 3. Michael Barquette, Al Morganti, Rick Tocchet in the studio. Bill and I'll have our say as well. Plenty of highlights and analysis. A good one going here in South Philadelphia. 2-2 after 2.
Twos are wild between the Flyers and the New Jersey Devils in Game 3 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. And you'd think after all the penalty kills that might be good news, Rick Tocchet and Al Morganti, for the Flyers heading into the third period, and indeed the series right here, including Friday night's loss at Newark. The Flyers have lost their last 5 playoff games that were tied heading into the third period. Okay, tell me that means nothing.
Means nothing. Don't bring that up. What do you bring that up?
Don't bring it up. Doesn't matter.
It's the Devils. No, I don't think so going into this one. It's not a good trend if you're looking at trends, but there's no trend in this right now with these 2 goaltenders and the way power plays are being handed out.
The way they scored their second goal, 1:15 in, Mike Richards, the combination, real teamwork there between a hit, a steal, and a pass.
Well, this is the classic forecheck. First guy takes a body, Gagne. Carcillo comes out, takes the body and the puck, and then Richards in front of that. That is they call it a classic forecheck.
Yeah, this is your classic. Everybody on the team did something. Pronger, Gagne hit, Carcillo lose the glove, then it gets stolen, then Richards. So everybody's involved. So it's like everybody on the ice, everybody's involved in the play. Pressure, get it. You're feeling real good at that point.
And that's the guy they switched, Frazier, for.
Take him out of the lineup. Put him in the lineup.
Yeah, so Frazier goes in there.
So you figured they're looking pretty good, and then again another New Jersey power play chance, and they convert, and it's the same as the first power play goal, Toc.
Yeah, the Flyers obviously have a great penalty kill. well, and they play. They're deep front the puck. That's a system that they play. If you look at the second goal here of the Devils, it's the same as the first, where Timonen will front the puck, and then obviously Bush has no chance with the screen. That's the one thing, Al. If you play that system, if you don't block the shot, you know, you're going to have somebody in front of your goalie all night. So, you know, the Flyers, they're obviously a great penalty kill, and they've done it, so I'm not going to say they're doing anything wrong. But I like the fact that you got to clear the front of the net first.
And you saw what happened on the first one. LaPerriere went down for the block. That one, Gagne goes out, doesn't get the block.
Sure.
You're taking a risk, you're taking a chance, and with the Devils, yeah, well, frankly, no matter what system you're playing, if you give them, any team, this many power plays, you are really playing with fire.
Could Timonen physically not clear Zubris out of there, or did he just lose his?
I think, as Rick said, I think that's not their system to necessarily pitchfork there, or whatever you want to call it in this new league.
Well, it's just body position. You know, you can get body position on somebody. They'll allow that.
All right. Third period coming up. It's tied at 2. We are going to be online, though. You've been watching us as well on CSNPhilly.com. We're going to pause for a second, send you back to Comcast Sportsnet, but we will continue on CSNPhilly.com.
2-2 hockey game after 2 periods of play between the Devils and Flyers in Game 3 here at the Wachovia Center. Of course, other action going on in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The final from earlier today, the Coyotes take a lead in their series with a 4-2 win. Penguins and Senators in a close hockey game, and 2 more games later on. And look who's popped in and joined us here in the booth. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman, welcome.
Good to be here.
And you know, you saw the score there. Tight one, tight game here. Tight games everywhere. We were talking about it last intermission. All but 2 games, either 1-goal games or 1-goal games with empty netters. That has to put a smile on your face.
You know, this was an incredibly competitive season. I mean, just think about the way the regular season ended, and we're seeing the great competitive balance and in the games throughout the playoffs. It's been an incredible season.
I'd ask you about your home life, but not only would that be inappropriate, but you don't have any home life this time of year, do you? Are you on the tour, on the stump now, city after city?
A little bit of both. I still have to do my day job, so I try to get to places that I haven't been in the regular season because I like to be in every building if I can be at least once during the season. I hadn't been in Philadelphia this year because I kind of figure they're generally around this time of year, so I could wait a little bit.
So you walk into a building, as you do so often this time of year. What makes you smile the most?
Well, you know, seeing the crowds this enthusiastic, this intense, and when I come here watching Lauren Hart do God Bless America with Kate Smith is just off the charts.
Really is, and you know, you see that every building sort of has something unique about it. That's what makes it so special.
And you can get cheesesteak here, so it's all good.
You know, when you look around, this year was a good year for the National Hockey League, Commissioner, in so many ways. Not just the competitive balance, but ratings were great. You have to be very happy with the way things are going.
Attendance was pretty strong despite the recession. As you indicated, TV ratings are up. The people going to NHL.com, the number of visits is up. Our business in a difficult economic climate is pretty good, but that's a testament to our fans and to how good the game has been. I don't know that any sport's ever seen competitive balance quite like we're seeing this season.
And these playoffs have just been tremendous. Commissioner, thanks for taking time out of your very busy schedule to visit with us.
Good to be with you.
Bring a cheesesteak next time you come, will you?
Gary Bettman, Commissioner of the National Hockey League, back with third period action in just a moment. Tonight's third period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly. Also brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. Wachovia Center in South Philadelphia, the side of Game 3 of this Eastern Conference quarterfinals. Heading to period number 3. There's your summary of the second period. Richards gave the Flyers the lead at 1:15, but then Brian Ralston with his second of the night tied it back up on the power play. And so we're underway as one team tries to jump in front in the series. Timonen and Parisi go to the boards in the corner. The puck back to the point. Right across for Martin. Martin will take the shot, blocked off by Timonen. Richards reaching for it, but could not clear it past Martin. Timonen takes it away from Parise to Pronger. Pronger ahead and then out of the zone it goes, and all the way down. The Flyers with 12 seconds remaining on the Blair Betts slashing minor to kill off. And then they'll get back to trying to go on the attack. Martin sent it in, and now here's a shot by Kovalchuk off of Coburn to the corner. That's out of the box. Elias's shot is blocked. And the Flyers back at full strength, get to the puck, and Giroux spots Carter. Carter moving on up. It was actually Powell with that pass, and he found Carter, and that shot goes wide. It was screen, but it missed the target. Now Hartnell. It's it back down low. Looked into the corner. Here's Carter. Looking for Timonen. Joust with Motto. Now Briere, the shot! Save Brodeur! It won't bounce free behind him as Hartnell was waiting for it, but it never came through. Neil Hartman with an update on Ottawa-Pittsburgh.
All right, JJ, here's what we have in that Ottawa-Pittsburgh game. It is Evgeny Malkin scoring for the Penguins, giving them a 2-1 lead in Game 3 in this series that is all deadlocked at 1 apiece. So right now, late in the second, the Pens have a 2-1 lead on the Sens.
Well, he's had some beauties. That was a broken rush. Landed right in his lap, and there's the breakdown on that series. Senators trying to battle through some serious injury issues. Right here, 2-2 early in the third. And Riemsdyk a steal. Down low, go to 11. Giroux steals, back out. Ryan Parent kept it in to Giroux. They just deposit the puck back around behind the Devils net. Green there, and he'll get to Clarkson. Clarkson couldn't get it past Giroux. Send it toward the net, off Salvador. And finally it's jabbed forward to Brian Ralston, who one-hands it into the Philadelphia zone. There it is back for it. Ralston pins him. Krajicek trying to supply some help. The puck squirting to the other side. And it's kept in by Motto. Motto's shot blocked in front by Krajicek, who's then dump penalty. Clarkson will go. And he got dumped after the whistle. The original penalty on Clarkson. I believe that's the only one being called. Mr. Coates.
Well, I had a chance to talk to Craig Berube about what's happening in this hockey game. And the first thing is you've got to be able to get more shots on the 5-on-5 situation. Also, they got to stay out of the penalty box. That way they can use their whole bench. So many guys are getting tired. And last but not least, something that's been very, very important for the Flyers is being able to protect on the power play against Dinas Zubris. They're going to leave Zubris alone. Don't worry about it down low. They're going to try to do everything at the front like they always do with Betts and LaPerriere blocking shots.
Had a look at the leg trip by Clarkson that has given the Flyers their third power play. And they have tallied once. Trying to go back on top in this game. Hartnell, Briere, Carter up front. Carter's been tossed out of this draw, but Briere steps in and wins it. To Pronger, with room, winds, fires, Sabre, a rebound, swatted wide. That's out to Carter. Didn't get it through on the corner boards. Colin White with some help clears.
F. Carter smacked one out of midair and just about scored. That would be scoring chance number 4 for Carter in this game.
That's ahead to Briere, but he's stopped. And Parise will send it all the way down. You can sense the frustration from Jeff. He looks skyward, but just has to keep plugging. Here's Pronger finding him. In across the line. Carter will send one in. Brodeur loves that. Looks to play it out of the zone, but that's a turnover. Pronger's shot wide behind the net. Briere centers Gagne's shot, and that one took off and bounces to the corner. And Green will put over the head of Timonen all the way down. 1:07 on the power play. Aiden Coburn swoops back to pick up the puck. On the red line, and then just past it, he winds it into the Devils zone. Richards after it, so is Giroux, but it bounced instead to Zajac, and he was out with Parise 2-on-2. Zajac will just push it down low. Matt Carl is there to keep Parise away from him. 45 seconds on the power play. Mike Richards, and across the line for Gagne. Gagne sits it around to the corner. Giroux is there to Carl, and he lost it. Elias couldn't control it. Just bounces off him down the ice. Boucher for Coburn. The Flyers will try to organize one last rush with this power play. Matt Carl has it. Up to Richards across for Pronger. They blasted in. Flyers were stationary though. Tough to go get it on that occasion. Gagne does a good job getting on Salvador, but there's Martin, and they ripped that one off the glass and down the ice, and that would just about do it for the Philadelphia power play. An opportunity was by the boards here for the Flyers early in the third.
Not enough puck retrieval, not enough support. I mean, a lot of times the Flyers had one guy in there looking for the puck and fighting for it, but really not much puck support.
Carter tried to center, but that's blocked by Motto. That's free by Van Riemsdyk, but getting to it is Clarkson. Move it ahead to center. Pronger stops him, looks for Briere, bounces off of him, and then Zajac. And to jump to it is Van Riemsdyk. Moves it around into the corner, around behind the Devils net. Van Riemsdyk looking, and then dropping it off for Carter, but he's checked. Motto, good job to get there, and then he clears all the way down. This would have been icing, but Clarkson has a head start. Boucher could not get to it as it never got to the trapezoid. Kicked away from him, but Carl is there. Matt Carl moving it ahead. Looks to pick it back up. It goes off his stick deep into the Devils zone. Hard after it, Betts. Now behind, they look to center. Now Powell. Pulling it down low for Briere. Briere knocked down by Salvador. Puck back toward Krychek at the point of backhanded. It makes its way through, but Briere couldn't do anything with it. The other way goes Kovalchuk. Holding on, waits. Continues to wait. Krychek then gets to him. Kovalchuk knocked down. And the crowd likes that. And the Flyers get the puck back. Betts couldn't get past Kovalchuk, who retrieves, but his pass for Ralston is cut off. And LePerriere moves the puck out to center. But the Flyers turn it over there. There's Niedermeyer. Well, he waited. Kovalchuk went in a little bit offside. They'll peel back on a change. 5.5 into this third period. They're tied at 2. That pass for Gagne. He's checked. Devils looking for a counter rush, but Carcillo would have none of it. He's chopped at. Richards to the puck. Couldn't get it past Salvador. He sends Parise the other way. Look out here. Elias joins the rush. Parise then overskates, and the puck poked back out to center ice. Zubras on it there. Back to Parise. His pass in the middle. Elias. Elias to Zubras. Walking on in. Penalty upcoming. He never did get a shot off, but there will be a penalty, and the Flyers will be shorthanded for an 8th time. Slashing the call. Just over 6 minutes into the third. Devils power play coming up.
Dan Carcillo is in the box. The 8th power play for the New Jersey Devils. On the right of your screen, Dinah Zubras breaking in. Desperation, one-hand fling of the stick. Just hit the side of Zubras' body here. Didn't seem to have that much effect on the play. Touch him in the hands. Well, here we go with the Devils' 8th power play. They've had 5 shots only on their previous 7 power plays, and 2 of them by Brian Ralston have found their way to the back of the net.
Well, I think if you would have told Peter Laviolette his team would be facing its 8th power play with still 14 minutes nearly remaining in regulation, and being a tie hockey game, he wouldn't be all that upset. But they have to find a way to kill this one off to stay tied as the puck comes back to Kovalchuk. He'll fake and give to Green for a shot. Square to the shooter. Boucher with the save, and Betts the clear. Green has it back. Takes a look and gives to Kovalchuk. That one in. Zajac centering, goes off the stick right to LePerriere, and he'll hoist it all the way down the ice. So far, so good for the Flyers on the penalty kill. One save by Boucher. 2 good clears here is Martin. Dropping it off. Elias to Kovalchuk. Kovalchuk will backhand it in. Boucher sets it up. Carl drills it off Zubras and Richards. It bounces to Elias. Now Parise around for Kovalchuk. Back out to Elias. And he could not get it past Simone Gagne, and it bounces through the neutral zone. 54 seconds on the power play. Elias right back in. They say it's onside as the shot taken by Parise and smothered by Boucher.
Flyers Devils will be back at it. Game 4 Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Tickets for all round 1 home games are on sale now. Just call 800-298-4200 or visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. Great rivalry. Outstanding series, and I think both of these teams expected it to be a long one when it started.
I'm just amazed every year I go into these playoffs. The Flyers have been in the playoffs 14 of the last 15 seasons. Longer, plenty of time here to clear it all the way down. And I know it's going to be great, but then when it starts, it's better than I expected it to be. Kovalchuk having problems as he went to the bench. And really, throughout the playoffs, it's just been great stuff. Perrier, speaking of great stuff, on the penalty kill. Good job breaking that pass up. Now they'll enter. They stay around. Elias had it hop over his stick, and Betts will shovel it all the way down.
Well, what happened is Ilya Kovalchuk had a problem with his glove. He went over to the box, and he was hoping the referee would say, okay, just hold on, but he didn't. Brad Meyer said, hey, listen, you're going to have to leave the ice.
Otto sends it back into the Philadelphia zone. Final seconds. Taking off the power play. Out of the box jumps Carcillo. Flyers, they could have gotten that puck, might have had an odd man rush, but instead the Devils go back to work offensively, but Motto couldn't hang on. And here's Powell speeding out to center ice. He's got some help. Powell holding on his shot. Oh, Brodeur squeezing the pads to make the save.
Oh, Marty Brodeur looking like he was anticipating the pass. He didn't have his stick out in front of him. He squeezed that one and looked down, hoping to see the puck, and it was there. Darryl Powell just pulled away from everybody with his great speed. Ilya Kovalchuk was backing up as a defenseman on the other side. Ooh.
I think he was cheating a little bit there because he expected that puck to come back in the middle because it was a 3-on-2, but there wasn't enough trailer. Everybody was right across. You had Giroux there, you had Carcillo there, and you did have the forward Kovalchuk back, but I like the idea that Powell took the shot trying to fool Brodeur.
Now Scott Hartnell trying to go to work off the draw, but Green maneuvers up and banked it ahead to Langenbrunner, and now Kovalchuk. Kovalchuk cutting to the middle. Back to Langenbrunner for a shot, fought off by Boucher. Wander around, Hartnell chopping at Green, but Green carries deep into the zone behind the net. Kovalchuk. Kovalchuk in front. Langenbrunner was upset, but a shot batted away. Kovalchuk lost control, back to the point. Salvador sent one wide. All the way out to Hartnell. Hartnell's rink-wide feed is off the mark for Briere. Salvador was ahead on the same side of the ice as Hartnell, but Scott tried the cross-ice dish instead. And the Flyers will send it in, digging it off the wall, dancing to the slot. Giroux, turnaround shot, ricochets to the corner. There will be a penalty. And while we figure that one out, we send it back to Dale Hartman for a Stanley Cup playoff update.
All right, JJ, Sidney Crosby. Watch this really tough angle that gives the Penguins a 3-1 lead. This in the last minute of the second period. And Pittsburgh now in the second intermission has that 3-1 lead over the Sens. And we'll send it back to JJ.
There are the Eastern Conference brackets. That Ottawa Penguin series down at the bottom. And Sidney Crosby has a little patience, doesn't he?
He's got a little bit of everything that's good. Claude Giroux getting whacked there, I think. Was that Rob Niedermeyer that picked up the slash? Claude Giroux with great anticipation along the wall and just about busted it wide into Marty Brodeur.
And so now the power play opportunity to break the tie belongs to Philadelphia. Their fourth man advantage of the game as Brodeur settles in. The Flyers win the draw. Timonen with a shot blocked. He keeps it in though. Zajac could not clear. There's the special teams breakdown. Giroux gets it out to Pronger. Pronger down low. Richards moves out with it. There's a look in front. Timonen snuck down low. Richards fires off Timonen, but wide. Gagne to the corner, ridden by Motto. Gagne protects the puck well and finds Timonen. Back to Pronger. Now Timonen again. Giroux's gone in front. Pronger shot, save, Brodeur, rebound, Giroux save, and then side of net, Gagne shot, Brodeur another save, and he covers up. Oh, Martin Brodeur looked as though he was dead to rights, but somehow kept the puck out of the net 3 times.
Well, this is Marty Brodeur at his best, one of the best all-around athletes ever to play the position of goaltender. And he looked like he was down and out, but he always seems to find a way to scramble into position. He got that one with his glove, and look at him diving. Then got back up at least to the sitting position and was able to make a third save.
There's been some question as you get older where a guy like Brodeur is going to be as fast moving east-west. I think that question was answered right there as he moved pretty good back to that left post to make an outstanding save while still flat on the ice.
He'll be 38 in a month. He looks like he's got lots of flexibility for soon to be 38-year-old. Right there, denies the Flyers. Richards, though, comes right back in. The pass to Carter, the shot! Brodeur came out the challenge, made the save, and the Devils clear. Now Boucher charges up, quickly moves it ahead as the Flyers try to take advantage of the changing Devils, but Timonin's pass never made it to Carter. And they're trying to keep it in. Richards one-handed it, but Parise knocked it down, and now, like a buzzsaw, he moves into the Philadelphia zone. And then Coburn takes him in, but Parise keeps his balance. Had to be met by Carl before finally being taken off the puck. 35 seconds remain on the power play. Coburn to Briere up the middle. Briere stopped by White. Carter knocks the puck down. Richards barreling in to Colin White, but the Devils have the puck going the other way, and Zajac will clear it into the Philadelphia zone. 14 seconds is all that remains on the power play. Pass ahead, then Uzak has to take a step back to get to it as it was deflected, and the crowd impatient as the Flyers drift back as the power play ends, but they want to turn it over there. Now they'll move it up, dancing on in. Oh, Giroux zigs, zags, still has it, centers it in, front shot, Van Riemsdyk, save Brodeur! And Langenbrunner has it going the other way. And the Devils after it again. Last 2.5 minutes, the best of Marty Brodeur in this series thus far. Now it's James Van Riemsdyk, a nice pass to Aaron Asham on the right side. Crisscrosses with Betts. They're onside, but the Devils get the puck. Ralston takes control, slides it out to center. Carl checked by Elias. Betts is there to wind it in. 8:15 remaining in the third period. Devils with only 18 shots in a game. They've had 8 power plays. It's incredible. Betts is back to get to it. To Powell. Daryl Powell gets to the red line. Upset there by Ralston. Carl wants a penalty. They're not going to get it as Brodeur moved the puck along for Clarkson. Couldn't clear. Richards is there for the shot. I'm not sure if that one made it in on Brodeur as he laid out. LaPerriere was there and may have hit something in front. Flyers continue. On the forecheck side of the net. Brodeur tucks it back around behind. Richards to Pronger. Pronger looking to get it back to Richards, but instead he'll find Martin. Who jabs to Andy Green. Green along for Ralston, forced by Carl. Puck bouncing free, but Ralston's there and got it out to Clarkson in center. And from the red line, he'll send it in. Changing lines so critical. A tie hockey game, third period in the playoffs. You just have to make the changes crisp. Crowd roaring here, trying to urge the Flyers on. If they can break the tie. Carl sends that one right in on Brodeur. Brodeur quickly to Motto. Motto ahead, and here comes Dean McCammon. They scoop one deep. Coburn ridden in by Parise. Coburn gets back to it, punts it ahead for Briere, who outlets Hartnell. Scott Hartnell leveled in center ice by White. And here's McCammon to Parise. Parise holds on, takes the shot, blocked. Bounces back to him, and he'll send it around behind the net all the way to the other side. First to spot it, Bryce Salvador. In the corner it sits, McCammon. Check. Briere, trying to clear. It bounces to the line, but not out. Here's McCammon. Turning with it, swerving back the other way, and his pass tipped out to center ice, race for the puck. Hartnell trying to get to it, so is Green. It's Hartnell cutting in, the pass, the shot, Briere, and Brodeur slides across, and again says no. And the puck is set all the way down, icing the call.
Wow. What a save. Scott Hartnell, I thought, was at the end of his shift and did not have the energy to make this play. Instead, he just pulled his way past Andy Green. Knew that Danny Briere was there, but a Devil's stick came back and got a piece. I think it was Bryce Salvador that took some of the mustard off of Briere's shot.
Right there, you see Bryce Salvador right at the last second. That all started by a miscue by Dean McCammon in the other zone. He actually had the puck. He had the ability to be able to go to the corner. Instead, he tried to come back to the defense, and that allowed the Flyers to come with that good opportunity.
And play stopped right off of that face-off. 6:16 to go in the third. The drama builds.
Well, the story here has been Marty Brodeur, the New Jersey Devils, looking for his 100th NHL playoff win. You can see the shots on net. as compared to Brian Boucher. But I'll tell you what, the saves that Brodeurs had to come up with, unbelievable. Look at this one. Briere had him moving the wrong way, but he got the right pad on it. Then you got traffic right in front. Then Briere once again, look at it, just nearly snuck through. Traffic once again with Giroux right in front. And then just recently, Van Riemsdyk, you see how Brodeur lunged forward. He just threw his whole body at that puck.
He hasn't tasted victory in a while here in South Philadelphia. He seems intent on giving himself a chance here. Now wraparound try by Briere. Brodeur is holding on to that post for dear life. Where is that puck?
Speaking of holding on for dear life, Colin White looked like he was trying to rip Jeff Carter's head off. 10-1 the scoring chances here in the third period for the Flyers.
Players taking a look up at the scoreboard as they wanted to see if there was an angle that showed that puck sneaking in, but Brodeur held his ground. Claude Giroux and the Flyers will try to find another way to solve them. There's the disparity in chances here in the third and for the game overall.
That's just amazing. And that's having to kill 8 penalties. I mean, 2 of them did not get killed. The Devils have 2 power play goals in this game.
And if you think the tension will get to this guy, look again, you saw a smile underneath the mask there. He's always trying to keep the boys loose.
I don't think he really understands what tension feels like.
Scott Hartnell showing his frustration moments ago. You had to look at him as he slammed his stick when they were unable to finish off that rush. And the players feel that in these playoffs.
You see what happened right there. Jeff Carter came over, got the shield all cleaned up, but what happened? He's got a broken strap. So he'll have to have that fixed, and Mike Richards takes his place.
It was after the treatment he got from Colin White. Mike Richards after that puck, but it's Zajac dropping it back to White. As we take below 6 minutes to play in this third period. Another hockey game going down to the wire in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Langenbrunner drops to Martin. Hustles it through center. Gains the Philadelphia line. Looks for something in the middle. The Flyers close it off. Kovalchuk keeps it in. Floats one. That one ricochets. Langenbrunner there. Back out Green. He'll wind and fire. Blocked by Timonen. And the Flyers look for the counter rush. They move it ahead to Richards. Briere is with him. Richards. A shot blocked by Green. And Green does a great job of keeping Richards away from the puck. And it's Green now with speed the other way. His pass intercepted by Giroux. He wanted to send the Flyers the other way, but they were in the middle of the change. Langenbrunner has to wait as he had teammates in the zone. And now he's checked by Betts. Loose puck. Hustling over to get to that with the Devils, but Betts stays after it. Powell with a whack at it. And now Carl got another broken stick.
Langenbrunner.
The Flyers go to work here. Langenbrunner without a stick. The pass from LePerriere back to the point. Colbert shot! And it snuck through, but wide as Brodeur got a piece. Now behind the net, Motto twisting it to the corner. Parise checked by Powell. Betts digging away as well. Betts winds up with the puck. Blair Betts across. Here's Carl. Shot wide. And he didn't get that one where he wanted to. And the Devils now look to move back. It's Zubris with Parise. Zubris lost control, gets it back, and dumps it into the Philadelphia zone.
I don't think Matt Carl, it looked like it slipped off the end of his stick.
Crowd enjoying the action. Giroux moving up. His centering pass for Asham. Could not get his stick on it. And Riemsdyk back around behind. Giroux braces himself for the check from Salvador, but the puck pops free, and Niedermayer will move back with it. Rob Niedermayer to the Philadelphia line. Check. Ralston after it. On at by Giroux, who's a tank out there. The puck ahead to Asham. Numbers for the Flyers. Asham holds in front. Van Riemsdyk and Brodeur got to him. Flyers after again. Giroux tried to get it back to Timonen, but it's broken up and cleared by the Devils. Asham did not see Chris Pronger right behind him. Tried to go across ice, but as it turned out, Van Riemsdyk was right there. Brodeur ready. Now Hartnell to Briere. Briere trying to get that back in front, but it's tipped away. Now Hartnell behind the net. Hartnell working hard. Briere joins in the scramble for the puck. It bounces up the wall. Langenbrunner checked by Carter. Now it's Martin around behind for Salvador. This line of Carter, Hartnell, and Briere. Frustrated in terms of the goal scoring, but to work hard and create a huge goal right here. Now their shift is over as Coburn dumps the puck in, and They head off the ice with less than 3 minutes remaining in regulation time. Crowd roars yet again. Motto for Kovalchuk. Full board across the line. His pass in the middle for Elias. Redirection went just wide. He is so slippery. Patrick Elias. Now Richards. Backhanding it ahead, hoping for Carcillo. He got impeded. Never did get to it. Colin White there. Carcillo got a hold of him, but Motto is there with support. It's lost by Elias. Carcillo has it. Carcillo sent it toward the net. That's swatted away by Brodeur. Richards around behind. Checked by Motto. Gagne knocks it down. Simone Gagne back around for Richards. Motto after it again. Carcillo bumps Motto, the puck to Pronger. Backhands Carcillo after White in the corner. Carcillo for Richards. Got it in front. Motto coolly plays it out of there to Parise, who lobs it into the Philadelphia zone from his side of the red line, but they wave off icing. Less than 2 minutes remaining. Non-stop action as Coburn moves it to Carl. Carl for Powell. Powell swats it deep. LaPerriere has it. LaPerriere around behind for Betts. He was checked. And it's Green ahead. And Niedermeyer and Coburn right there and rips it into the crowd. Look out. That one went in to the stands in a hurry. Tonight on Sportsnet, highlights and analysis from this Game 3. A recap of the Phillies-Marlins series finale. And all the news Philly fans need to know on Toyota Sports Night. Tonight at 10 on Comcast Sportsnet. There's the answer to our Jeep trivia question. Who scored the game-winning goal to secure the first ever win over the Devils? It was Eric Lindros. A 3-2 overtime win in Game 3. Eastern Conference Finals up in Meadowlands Arena.
I don't think this last part of the third period hasn't been all Flyers. How about this? The Devils have not had a shot on Brian Boucher in 9 minutes, and well, it's over 10 minutes now.
Don't get one there either. Kovalchuk got the shot off, but after the whistle for offside, Coburn didn't like the fact that he still shot the puck. And he has some words for him.
These guys know one another. Former members of the Atlanta Thrashers organization, Kovalchuk and Coburn.
Marty Brodeur has been
the difference,
and he's been
in this
much
third period.
busier goaltender, as you were saying. It's a kind of game for Brian Boucher. It's very difficult. You're just not seeing much action around you at all, and then all of a sudden you might get one that the whole game's on the line. Here's Pronger. Back to Carl. Now Chris Pronger ahead for Carter. He stopped at the red line. Carl there. Quickly ahead, and it's dumped deep into the zone by Briere, but he got too much air underneath it, and it found the safety net.
Well, let's take a look at our Toyota turning point as Brian Ralston's pretty good back there at the point. Weinstein Zubin right in front. He's going to screen Brian Boucher. Ralston gets a nice pass here from Kovalchuk. Bang! There comes the one-timer. Boucher has no clue where that puck is. That tied the score, and that's our Toyota turning point of the site. Well, is it night or afternoon? It's night now, isn't it?
It's 8:32, Coach. It's definitely night now.
Well,
although in your world,
yeah,
you know, the day is just beginning. I understand.
That's a very good point.
And who knows? Our hockey game may just be beginning. You just never know with these Stanley Cup players. They can go on for a while. 64 seconds remaining in regulation time. That pass ahead, Mike Richards after it tips it to the middle, but Martin is there, and now it bounces back off of Richards. They get back onside. Richards will set it around behind the net. Giroux getting there, trying to set her, but it's blocked. Colin White up the wall. Pronger could not keep it in at the line. He'll take it back to the neutral zone. His pass, and that would have been offside. It goes in on Brodeur. He pointed it ahead and out of the zone off Zubris. Right there's Timonen back in. All the way up to Salvador. Flyers making some changes. The puck to Pronger at the Philadelphia line. Half minute remaining in the third. Gagne redirects, but Green gobbles it up, and his pass to Langenbrunner. Langenbrunner in the middle. That's broken up, but gotten back by Langenbrunner, and he finds Zajac. 20 seconds. Zajac met by Coburn, and Carl will rotate over to get to the puck. Send it ahead. One last rush for the Flyers here in regulation, but Briere stopped at the red line, and now it's turned back the other way. Zajac forces it deep. Kovalchuk is there. They'll tip it to the corner. 4 seconds. Carter to it. Ahead. And that'll do it for the third period. Martin Brodeur spectacular here in the third. Boucher did what he had to do, and as a result, for the first time in this series, we will have overtime. 2-2 through 60 minutes of play. Michael Barquette, Rick Tocchet, Al Morganti will take over after this timeout as we settle in for some overtime hockey in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It doesn't get any better.
There's the score. Twos are wild, and this is a wild one. The third intermission. And in the playoffs, that means overtime. Al Morganti, Rick Tocchet alongside. Man, oh man, Al, I think, said the most prescient thing. We watched the games together, and Al was saying, we're at overtime now. It's like 2.5 minutes left because whoever scores that goal, it's over.
It's what you're in hockey for in the playoffs. You have incidents like this. There's going to be no shootout here. No shootout for those that won't love that in the last game of the season. This is going to be one the old-fashioned way. You're going to earn this one.
All right, so when you talk about the third period, the goaltender's putting on somewhat of a show. Certainly Marty Brodeur putting on a show as the Flyers had chances.
Yeah, we talked about the pregame show about how Brodeur played in the third period of last game, played very well. Was he going to continue? Well, obviously, looking at these saves tonight, he was excellent. 3 or 4 times I thought the Flyers were going to score. They've had 10 or 12 chances in the third. I think the Devils only had 1 or 2 chances. So Marty Brodeur is definitely the first star for me so far in the game.
Yeah, he's played terrific down low. The Flyers have had not just chances, quality. That one rung off the crossbar. Absolutely solid chances. Asham had a great chance on him. I thought Hartnell set him up on a great 2-on-1 coming in. And Marty's been equal to everything. And, you know, for those that thought there were some cracks in the armor, and I was among those that thought that, you know what, maybe this guy, maybe it's starting to show on him. He's really put on a show the other way that third period.
All right, so again, now we go to Coach Tocchet, who spent a stint with Tampa Bay, head coaching them. If it's 12-3 in favor of the Flyers shots in the third period, you're the Devils. You're thinking things are pretty good right now. We just survived an onslaught.
Well, you could say that, or you could say, oh my God, they're dominating, because I think the Flyers have been dominating in the chance category. So, I mean, you can play it both ways, but obviously when it goes in overtime, it's a new game. Who's going to be the hero? Throw out all the stats. It's whoever gets that puck. And usually these goals and overtime goals are wraparounds, deflections. Don't look for a pretty goal to win this hockey game tonight, and look for that ugly goal.
All right, we're also online, csnphilly.com, and you can watch us during the breaks as well. Al has he has a lot of cooking recipes that he imparts during the breaks as well. We'll take a quick time out, and we'll talk also about Claude Giroux when we come back. Maybe a little in a break, too, if you're on csnphilly.com. Where's he been? My goodness, he's so effective. We'll talk about that. We are back on Comcast Sportsnet, and you should have seen what Al and Toc were saying on csnphilly.com. You can't miss that. One of the things we were talking about, though, and we want to repeat it for the folks watching on Comcast Sportsnet, is Claude Giroux has been playing really, really well. We want to see more of that, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. He's
a lot more.
Yeah, he's really definitely opened my eyes. I knew he was a good hockey player, but this series he is definitely the best Flyer. You know, Pierre Levitt's doing a great job. He's trying to stay consistent with the lines. But maybe he start using Giroux a little bit more. I think he averaged about 15, 16 minutes. Maybe get up to the 18, 19-minute range. Maybe throw him up with Richards and Gagne every once in a while to throw a different look at the Devils.
What are you expecting for this overtime period, Al?
Well, you know,
each one is
that's
different.
always rough when you go in. You know, the philosophy you go in with. Do you defensively? I mean, you don't want to make that big mistake, but I think at home, Talk sometimes just, you know, that first initial rush to try to get it at home, you get the advantage there.
Yeah, it's true. You know, it seems like in overtime, it's usually the first 2-3 minutes, and then it goes for a long time. So if you don't score the first 3-4 minutes, it usually goes for a while. But you know what they say, safe is dead. You know, if you play safe, you're going to die. So you got it. I'm not saying you have to, you know, throw everything in the kitchen sink at them, but you can't just lay back. And I think that both teams will try to obviously throw the pucks at them.
If you remember one thing from this game, safe is dead. That's the bottom line. It's the Tocchet way. We want to make sure safe is dead. You go get them. All right. So when you look now at the way Brian Boucher has played, shots were 12-3. in favor of the Flyers. So Boucher faced 3 shots. He stopped them all, but he has looked pretty darn good this game.
He's looked terrific. For those that thought it was, you know, when is it going to come apart or whatever, it certainly hasn't. He's got more and more solid. I don't want to say played better, but more and more solid. Less worry about how he's going to play, what's going to. He's been everything you could ask. Stop everything he's supposed to stop. Square to the puck. Rebounds are under control. So there's been nothing there, nothing lacking in goal. And Marty's the one that put on the show in that third period. We just see there 17 Kovalchuk. That when you say safe is dead, you play Kovalchuk a lot here now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's why they went and got him, pay him the big bucks. You know, the Devils, you know, that was a big acquisition. So, you know, look for him to play even more.
The penalties have been the same. Penalty minutes, as it turns out. We were lamenting the fact that the Devils had all these power plays. The Flyers weren't on the power play as much. And look at Game 1 versus Game 2 and now Game 3. Penalties by game, it kind of evens out, doesn't it?
Always does.
Oh, so, Talk, what are you expecting now in this overtime? And the team that loses, how deflating is that? And the team that wins, especially if it's the Flyers.
Well, obviously we lose this game. You know, there's plenty of hockey left. I mean, it's not, you're not dead, but you know, this is the hump game. You know, you want to come out of this overtime, obviously on the winning side. Throwing pucks to the net, I'm telling you, the guy that scores a goal, it'll be in front of the net, it'll be a deflection, it'll be something. It's not, very rarely, it's a pretty goal. It's going to be a mucking goal.
Who scores the winning goal, Alphonse?
If I'm going to take a Flyer, I'm going to take Giroux. I'm going to ride that horse right through it. And I think it's going to be a pretty one, Tuck. A pretty goal by Giroux. You know, everything in it. Yeah. Dance around.
The key words, folks, that Al said is, if I'm going to take a Flyer.
I'm taking a Flyer.
So you didn't think I heard that. Talk, who do you think scores it?
I'll keep it in the same province. I'm going to stick with Gagne. I think he's going to snipe it in. Really
all right, he was a standout star. I'm still going somewhere. Jeff Carter's going to get a goal. Something's going to happen. All right, we'll take a timeout. We come back, and it is Jim Jackson, Bill Clement, and Steve Coates. They will bring you into the overtime, and we'll see you for Postgame Live.
Tonight's Flyers Devils Game 3 being brought to you by your Quality Plus Ford dealers. By Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. By Wachovia, the official financial services partner of the Philadelphia Flyers. And by your local tri-state Toyota dealers. Go Flyers, go Toyota. Toyota, moving forward. As we prepare for overtime, we look at the top shelf performers from this one. Ralston, a couple of goals. Power play, Marty Brodeur especially good in that third period. Claude Giroux continues his fine play. Mike Richards going back into the regular season, 5 goals in his last 6. If you're looking for guys who have scored that game winner in a playoff overtime, Danny Briere has done it twice. Once against the Flyers as a Buffalo Sabre in double overtime. Simone Gagne, that memorable goal against Tampa Bay. The Devils, you got to keep your eye on their captain. Jamie Langenbrunner, 4 playoff overtime game winners. Zajac and Salvador have also scored, although the Devils overall not very good in playoff overtimes, 14 and 25.
Flyers with 28 shots on goal, 10 of them coming from Jeff Carter and Danny Briere combined, so watch for them. But Marty Brodeur, 12 and 20. Wow. That's all in playoff overtimes.
Whoosh, not as many of them. Better percentage, 2-2, as he gets set for his first playoff overtime in a long time. Simone Gagne knows about playoff overtime goals. He showed you that he was one of the playoff overtime goal scorers, and there it was. You remember that? At this place, I'm not sure I've ever heard it quite as loud as it was that day, as Primo had tied it late in regulation. Gagne won it, and the Flyers went on to Game 7 before losing to Tampa Bay. How about these numbers, Bill?
The Devils with 8 power plays. Ilya Kovalchuk with over 26 minutes of ice time in regulation as a forward. And the Flyers have done a remarkable job on him. He does not have one shot on goal.
Amazing. All right, underway in overtime. Different than the regular season. It stays 5-on-5, and they play until someone scores. No shootouts in the playoffs. They play 20 minutes, nobody scores. They stop, resurface the ice, and we'll start all over again. And we're teaming in with the puck. Braden Coburn. This is the 6th overtime of these playoffs. We're seeing a lot of it early on. Carter looking for Hartnell, side of the net. Hartnell has it, a stick pops free. Hartnell to Briere, shot, save, rebound, Carter, save, Brodeur! Briere fires one through. How did he stop that rebound attempt by Carter? Remarkable. Now Kovalchuk. Cross ice dish. Now backing up on that play, trying to keep it away from Zajac. And Pronger will give it to Matt Carl. Ahead. And Hartnell touched it and beat the puck in the zone, so offside call.
I'm talking to Craig Berube about that third period. How can you be unhappy about shots on net of 12-3? Your team's doing everything they need to do. Get shots on net, dominate the hockey game. But he also said the first 4 shifts in this overtime are huge. They want to really go after Brodeur, and certainly he is seeing that exactly happening.
Marty Brodeur with his left pad. Jeff Carter spun around so quickly there really wasn't much of a chance for him to get the puck in the air. That's what saved Brodeur. He really did a great job of getting that telescopic left leg of his out there. But Jeff Carter couldn't get the puck off the ice spinning around like that.
Well, the last time I remember you talking about a telescopic leg, it was Marc-Andre Fleury. And I don't think the Flyers want to see any telescopic leg action anymore in the playoffs.
Not any more than they just saw there.
Yeah, there's an angle shot, turn around, Ralston, save Boucher.
First shot for the Devils in over 12 minutes.
And again, it was a test throw, though, from an angle. Carl with a check. Puck ahead. Asham, good play to Giroux. Moves up with Van Riemsdyk. They're onside. The pass. Van Riemsdyk cuts it. Diving poke check by Brodeur. There will be a penalty. Brodeur, another great play, but the Flyers will get an overtime power play.
David Clarkson is the guy that's arguing. James Van Riemsdyk came that close to ending this hockey game. Boy, he's picked up his personal game since the middle of game 2. Oh, Marty Brodeur with a great poke check.
Van Riemsdyk is going to be able, most players love to be able to use their body, protect the puck, and then come to the net. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Here's the interference call on Clarkson as he's going to just pull down Asham. But I'll tell you what, Marty Brodeur read it perfectly. He must have seen Van Riemsdyk just take a little bit of a look at that puck. That's when he went and took it, poked that puck away.
Interference, the call on Clarkson. Flyers get the puck. Here's Richards trying to float that one toward the net. Parise broke his stick, and then he took down Richards. And they will not call that one and give the Flyers a 2-man advantage here in overtime. And Pronger is back to get it. Flyers move up. The pass now in the slot area. Giroux, shot batted away by Brodeur and cleared by Niedermeyer. Boucher out of his net, always looking to hustle the puck back up the ice, but this time situation didn't warrant for that. And so it's Timonen. Timonen from the red line, ripping it in. Brodeur could not knock it down. Briere back to the point and then takes it from Carl. Briere holding on. Taking a look and then back to Carl. Skates it across ice and then drops it to Briere. Winds and fires, and the save made by Brodeur. And the Devils able to clear. Salvador. Dimply going to the Devils bench. That's not a word, I just made it one. Briere winds it in.
Wasn't going to say anything.
I saw the look in your face. Here's Briere around behind the net. Check, then dropped it back off, hoping for Carter. Hartnell is over after it. Oh, cross-ice pass is tipped, and Coburn turned around, got it, and Parise picks it up to Zajac. Zajac back to Parise, couldn't get a shot off. Now the puck bounces free, but a hand pass. A hand pass called. Zajac batting it to Motto.
Special teams have been plentiful in this series. The Devils 2 for 8 in this hockey game tonight on their power play, and the Flyers 1 for 4. The Devils,
on their fifth right
the
now.
Devils took 7 penalties that led to Flyers power plays in game 2, and I said, well, you won't see them do that very often, and probably won't see them again in this series. Little did I think that it would be the Flyers tonight that would end up shorthanded 8 times.
Now the Flyers creeping up there, Bill. It's their 5th power play. There's Niedermeyer onside. He'll backhand it in. Only 17 seconds remaining in the Clarkson minor. Teaming it. Starts Giroux. The other way, the pass to Richards. Richards in, tried to center, bounces back. Pronger, a blast, went off the stick and into the safety netting. Face-off will be to the right of Brodeur.
Good stick by Rob Niedermeyer to deflect that one up and over. Chris Pronger scoring in the first couple of games in this series. First defenseman to score a goal in each of his first 2 playoff games as a Flyer. Chris Gratton did it in 1998. No defenseman has until Pronger did.
And no player has scored in his first 3 playoff games ever for the Flyers. Wouldn't Chris Pronger love to become the first and win the game in one fell swoop with a goal here in overtime? Richards wins the draw. To Carl, and now Gagne, the shot blocked by Motto. And the after it bounces free behind the net. There's Richards. Got it off the outside net. Got it out in front. And Carcillo scores! Dan Carcillo wins it for the Flyers! The Flyers take the series lead, and Snyder's happy, the crowd is happy, and Dan Carcillo in the right spot at the right time. His 2nd career playoff goal is an overtime game winner.
Mike Richards made this happen. He just stayed with it. Not 1 attempt, but 2 attempts to get the puck out front, and when he finally did, Dan Carcillo was there and ready. Might be the easiest goal Dan Carcillo has ever scored. Watch the good work down low here. Mike Richards tried once to get it out front. By the time he made it through to the front the 2nd time, Dan Carcillo had not a New Jersey Devil near him.
Brodeur, maybe the only way they were going to beat him the way he was playing late in this game was to be looking the other way. He thought the puck was still on the other side.
The look on Dan Carcillo's face was, what do I do now? Now that I've scored an overtime winner.
Well, he knew what to do with it. And the Flyers have a 2-1 series lead as a result. Richards and Gagne get the assists on the goal at 3:35 of overtime. Crowd very happy here. They saw a great game, and they will leave a happy bunch. Dan Carcillo, as the goal is announced, and the appreciation from the fans one more time. And Mike Richards having a heck of a series. Goal and an assist in this game. 2 goals and 4 assists in the series. But of course, guy gets the game winner is our Bud Light player of the game.
Yeah, no question about it. Dan Carcillo set Mike Richards up earlier in the game for a tap-in, and Mike Richards repaid him at the perfect time for the orange and black in overtime to take a 2-1 series lead. Brian Boucher, JJ, you pointed it out a number of times. His task was mental. It was stay in the game in spite of the fact that he went untested for long stretches of this hockey game. He stayed focused, and so did the Flyers.
This game is over as the Flyers win it, but still, despite what you just saw, more series to play. Game 4 is next, Tuesday night, 7:30 game time on Tuesday. Our coverage beginning with the pregame show at 6:30 here on Comcast Sportsnet in high definition where available. Should be another great hockey game. The drama, the passion, the excitement, these playoffs just tremendous. So it started with a block party outside, fans revving it up, and then inside we went. And the party continued as the Devils and Flyers renewed their rivalry again. And they knew one team would take the lead in the series out of this game, and the Flyers did just that with an overtime game winner. For the entire crew, including executive producer and director Brian Cooper, and associate producer Chris Cajaro, as well as my partners Bill Clavette and Steve Coates, I'm Jim Jackson. Good night from the Wachovia Center. Stay tuned now for Flyers post-game live presented by McDonald's.